Yo, what up, Sibla Hideo, a Korea duder? Good to see you. How you doing? How's it going? I'm glad that you're here, Simply Hideo. I mean, I'll probably wait for a little bit, but pretty much, yo, what up, Skyer? Good to see you. In pain? Oh no, what happened? No, what happened? I know it's been snowy. Did you slip or something? That's the first thing I'm thinking about. Oh no. Not Simply Hideo, dude. Why? But now, dude, for real, I'm sorry. What's going on, though? I'm curious to know. And we're actually gonna pack orders this time. Korean duder, ear. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, I forgot my water bottle. I need to grab that, actually. But I'll keep it on. And stretch, okay. Thank you, Korean duder. How you doing? Skyer and Korean duder, how's your Tuesday? I know I just simply was like, I'm in pain. I got too worried too fast. 1, 2, 8, 10, 11. Yo, shrimp buffet, dude! How's it going? Oh shit, we got a shrimp buffet, dude. A shrimp made that whole buffet. That's crazy. Yo, Jimmy Holland, what's good, man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. How's your Tuesday going? How's your Tuesday going too, Shrimp Buffet? And Creator and Skyer, how y'all doing? But Super Dale says, went to go shovel the snow. Them shits are slabs of bricks and now my wrist hurt. Oh, that sucks, yeah. Okay, I thought you might have like hurt yourself or something. I was like, oh no. But here, let me grab my water bottle. I'll be right back, y'all. I think it's out here in the kitchen. Oh yeah, it is. But somebody else also spent 2.5 hours trying to get somebody's car out the driveway too. Oh dang, that's wild. Yeah, dude, snow sounds crazy, dude. I mean, I don't know. I do a lot of snowboarding, so I'm kind of like, oh, the snow is so fun, but like, it just sounds like it's horrible if you have to live in it. But Skyer says pretty much just been playing Slay the Spire all day, dude. Slay the Spire is sick. I used to play it a lot when I used to fly for like work and stuff. Dude, Slay the Spire is kind of goated. Net Navi's also hell on to Slay the Spire. That's sick that you also play it, Super Skyer. We're glad to hear you're having a good day. And Shrimpa Face says, hi, I'm doing good. Been a bit due to bad sleep schedule or business. No worries. Yeah, it's all good. Dude, whenever you can join, whenever you can join. Like, no pressure. I'm chilling. But I had a really good day. Been chilling on call with my friends all day. Oh, dude, that's sick. Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad to hear it, Shrimp Buffet. Yeah, those are always like really fun days. I remember spending a lot of time just on Discord calls with the homies, like back during lockdowns. And those were like, honestly, some of my favorite memories, I'm not gonna lie. But Jimmy Holland says, doing great, or I guess Jimmy, but doing great. Tired of the cold, but at least the snow looks nice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been seeing all the photos. It looks pretty cool. But why am I so orange? I feel like I'm more orange than usual. Let me see if I can fix that. Hopefully it doesn't break anything. Oh, okay, I didn't break it. No, I guess I'm just orange today. Oh, I fucked it up. Oh, there we go. Yep, okay, we're fixing it. I can't remember what it was now. Cool. All right, so yeah, I think I'm less orange now. That's good. But, oh shit, I forgot to... Who had this? I'm sorry, I'm printing out orders real quick. But the thing I want to bring up, yo, Charismatic Gambler, that's such a sick name, dude. I hope you're doing good. How's your Tuesday? But to kick things off, Skyer and Simply Day, I know you were here last time, or y'all were here last time. So the baseball game cheap tickets, I looked into it, and so because I know Simply Day was actually like, I might take my partner out on a date. So just to follow up on that, Simply Day, I use the app Game Time, not sponsored, but Game Time tends to have the cheapest tickets. And low-key, another thing is, the reason why I was getting the cheapest so cheap is you have to buy them like day up. If you buy the game, like baseball tickets, like early, then they cost more. Because essentially the idea is that it's a bunch of people who like pretty much buy tickets for the entire season. And then when the day comes, if they haven't sold yet, they're like $10. Like, just please buy my ticket. You know what I mean? But because there's so many seats, like there tends to be a ton available. So yeah, so that's the hack for the cheap baseball date. Maybe have backup plans. But still, like morning of, the ticket prices don't tend to fall any more than that. So like morning of, check and see if the prices are cheap, go for it. So yeah, that's the follow-up from last stream. But Charismatic Gandalf says thanks. Hell yeah, dude. Hit Zaku with the chip, dude. How you doing, man? How's your Tuesday going, Zaku? You got them Dorito chips. We got them chips, bro. But oh, you have to write notes to people. Okay, we'll do that. So we gotta write a note for this person. Gotta write a note for this person. And this person. Oh yeah, but Subideo says noted. Okay, cool. Thanks for that tip, because I definitely wouldn't have figured that out. Yeah, okay, cool, Subideo. Yeah, because that's the thing about yeah, you have to buy them day of. But other than that, they're pretty chill. So yeah. But okay, cool. I'm glad I followed up on that then, because I don't want you to be like, no, Groovy lied to me. But yeah, I had to like refresh my memory, because you know baseball season doesn't really start till like March, so I haven't bought tickets in a while. So when I went to go check the prices to be like, did I know what I was talking about last night? And I was like, why are the tickets more expensive than usual? And I was like, oh yeah, because I'd buy them day of. So yeah. But cool. I think there should be enough notes to write. Zaku says, I came into work early, so I'm out by 7:30. Okay, sick. Hell yeah, dude. Well, congrats on getting off early. That's super dope. But okay, we're about 7 minutes in. Okay, so I think it's Jermaine time. So Jermaine is, of course, doing good, as always. And again, that one like new growth, I'm gonna try my best to show it off, but it's so hard. But you see this little, I guess I'm showing it a little bit. Yeah, this little plant, dude, this grew like by like 20% since Sunday. So yeah. So yeah, Jermaine is still doing good. It's our boy. Yeah, shrimp buffet. So yeah, Jermaine's doing good. And but yeah, I'm probably gonna get the pot for Jermaine pretty soon. The last thing I need to do is what's it called? I actually signed up for Google Fiber at my new apartment that I'm getting in pretty soon. So dude, I'm having 3 gigabit internet, dude. 3 gigabit. I'm probably gonna stream to like every platform. So I have so much bandwidth, dude. And like, I no longer have to ever wait for anything to download ever. I'm so hyped. Y'all have no clue how hyped I am. To have 3 gigabit internet, dude. So yeah. And Shrimp Buffet says, oh, sick, so I haven't heard about the new apartment. Yeah, so pretty much I'm moving. So Shrimp Buffet, actually I'm gonna show it off a little bit. But I'm moving in about 2-ish weeks to like another apartment, and I have to pretty much rebuild this whole studio in like a new apartment. So it's gonna happen after the Destroy All Monsters launch I have on Friday. That starts on Friday. So and then it'll be, I always do the launches like I think about 10 days per like, you know, for the launch window. So as soon as that ends, I'm probably gonna take a week off of streaming, move everything, rebuild the studio, because you'll even notice that like I don't have the posters right here anymore because I took them down already. And then I'm gonna move everything over there, get everything all reset up so it looks cool again, and then be back to normal. But it should be sick, but the internet will be way faster, dude. I might stream in like 1080p instead, if my computer can handle it, if it can render fast enough. But still, like I might go 1080p, dude. I might go 4K, dude. Face says, good luck, man. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you, dude. I'm hyped. Yeah. It's simply the speeds are about to be insane. I know, dude. They really are. But cool. Other than that, I think so. The title of the stream, pretty much I had a buddy text me that I said forever ago I would like make a whole PowerPoint for them on how to run a show, because they'd asked me like way back in the day. I'd have time to make a PowerPoint because I'm moving and all of it. But I was like, you know what? I could still at least ramble, because we got 3 hours. I could at least ramble. We could still chat and stuff while I'm rambling, but pretty much just going to be us hanging out. And then I'm going to just go through my to-do list of whenever I would run a show, like self-book my own show, and then talk about that. So I think that would be a lot of fun. So stop me at any time. Anyway, everyone, feel free to stop me at any time, or if you have questions, feel free, but you can stop me at any time. I'm just going to be rambling. But DFL, do good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Like, this is a perfect example. Thanks for stopping by. But how long you been producing? Dude, since I was like, motherfucking 14. So like 16 years now. 16 years, dude. My production career is a sophomore in high school. But just got my package yesterday. Thank you, dude. You're welcome. Thank you for grabbing it. I really appreciate it. Hell yeah, dude. But yeah. So actually, before we start, so I'm gonna start rambling about that in a little bit, but I'm gonna write these notes real quick. But again, I'm gonna keep talking and stuff. But same old. But yeah. So, but pretty much that's the agenda for today. If y'all don't mind, that's gonna be what we're rambling about. But DFL says, who are your influences? Who are my influences? So it's like everything, dude. I'll be honest. Like I get influenced by like, oh, Prismo Roll's here. It's sick. That's so sick. Yeah. I was just saying about how I need to reply to your text, but I was going to do this stream specifically for you. Sick. Well, I'm going to ramble right now about it. And then, yeah, simply doesn't sound good to me. So you can like take notes if you want. But let me get back to DFL real quick. Who influence music producer wise? So that's the thing is that, I mean, yeah, there are music producers, but I just always like to, I don't know, I'm kind of weird. So my bad if I'm trying to like, I'm not trying to dodge the question. I just try to be like, I don't know. I get inspired by everything. Like it's all the way from like video games because I've explained it once before DFL. But the way I make music is I just remember stuff and I try to recreate the memories and sound. You know what I mean? So then that's what so it could literally be like video games that I played. Even like visual stuff will influence me, or like musically in like an audio sense, or even like YouTube video. I don't know, everything. But music producer wise though, again, not to dodge your question. A lot of like, I like Saint Pepsi a lot. When I first started Groovy Kaiju, it was a lot of like Saint Pepsi, but also a lot of J Dilla. Like if you notice, like on Groovy Kaiju stuff, the kicks are hella weird. Because essentially I'm like trying to make fast J Dilla with like Saint Pepsi influence. But now it's like grown into its own special mix of a bunch of stuff. Like I like a lot of Dario Core. Oh shit.
New merch order from Caleb.
Thank you, Caleb. If you're watching, let me know. Not pack it for you right now. What's it called? So yeah, but even like, I don't know, recently, like I listen to a lot of Dario Core and stuff. So because of that, I'd sometimes like Jersey Club kicks, which I know isn't Dario Core, but like producers like Zave, who's pretty more recent, I'll like get influenced by them a lot. And they're like kind of like more low key. So like it's all, yeah. But I guess when I got started, it was a lot of like Saint Pepsi and J Dilla, and it's still a lot of Saint Pepsi and J Dilla. But now it's new stuff like, I don't know, 3D Blast. That's the homie, and their stuff inspires me. Motherfucking Vaporwave, that's the homie. I talk to 3D Blast a lot more, but like Vaporwave, like we're acquaintances, but we've worked together, and I love their stuff. To You Baby With Love is in my car CD player right now. And but yeah, but I don't know, lots of hip hop people like Knowledge, Mind Design, lots of the Stones Throw folks, lots of jazz folks, you know what I mean? So yeah, D'Angelo, like I have a new song coming out that like there's a whole like reverse section that sounds so D'Angelo-y, like so D'Angelo-y. That's like, you could hear, I don't know. So yeah, all kinds of stuff. But DFL says, yeah, your shit sounds soulful like JD. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I mean, JD, he's academically studied, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's how wild his stuff was. People write papers about him. People write theses. Have you read Dillatime, dude? Yeah. That's a good example. But DFL, Jay-Z comes with So Chris. Yup. Thanks for all the Radical Reptar emojis, Saku. Oh, no, Prince Manuel, I'm sorry. I saw them talking to each other. But yeah, Madlib's sick too. Of course. Yeah, of course Madlib, dude. Mad Villainy is like one of my favorite albums. I think it is my favorite album of all time. Not gonna lie to you. Like Mad Villainy, Madlib and MF Doom. That's like, yeah. I don't know, so much about it. So yeah. So lots and lots of inspiration there. But yeah, thanks for asking, DFL. I appreciate it. But yeah, and then Prince Motorola, I have to write like 1, 2, 3, 4 little notes real quick, and then I'm gonna start rambling about Crystal for you. Somebody Dale says, I had a question about service providers. I know that Spotify isn't in a good spot right now, so if I had to switch in order for you to profit, is there a clear answer? So this is also a crazy, complicated thing. Honestly, here's the thing. They all kind of pay the same, actually. But no one ever says that. And the reason why Spotify pays less is because they're in more so when you stream a song, it's based on how much money you put in to like, you know, the stream pot. And keeping it real, like the reason why Spotify pays less is because Spotify is the only streaming service with a free tier. So all the free tier pulls down the per stream rates. And that's why Spotify has such more and more users too. They have, you know what I mean? Because it pulls that down, and it depends on the country. And Spotify's in the most countries. So if you're like, I don't know, so I don't think they are the Democratic Republic of the Congo. But like, let's just say you're in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, like, you know, like they're not going to be, their $10 a month is not $10 US a month. It's going to be lower. Or even like, I don't know, someone like, keep it real, like Mexico, like the peso is worth less than the US dollar. So because of that, that's why all the per stream rates, they don't really make sense, to keep it real. Like, not to defend Spotify. Spotify is doing all kinds of other goofy stuff. But every streaming service, it doesn't really matter, dude. That's my opinion. It doesn't really matter because they all pay about the same. And like any per stream rate is just, it's more like a representation of like their user base than it is like who's paying more. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I mean, honestly, Simply Deo, dude, I'm keeping it real. Like for example, if you know when you get your Spotify Wrapped, I hate this to be the answer, but like, you know, when you get your Spotify Wrapped, like if you look, like your top songs tend to be about 100 streams. No matter what service that's on, 100 streams is about like, I think, $1? About $1? You know what I mean? Or no, it's about $3. I forgot. It's either $1 or $3. So if you buy an artist's $10 album, you've instantly like bought them, like you listen to their top song nonstop all year long 3 times over. So Simply Deo, you are completely fine. You are completely fine. Trust me. I mean, I appreciate your support. So you're completely fine. So yeah, so I'd say just do whatever is most convenient for you streaming service wise, because they all pay the same. And as long as you're buying like your favorite artist's album, every once in a while, you're doing leaps and bounds in terms of support, if that makes sense. And anything above that is like, dude, hell yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah. And then like Skyer's saying, yeah, the best way to listen to music is just buy a physical release and buy digitally on Bandcamp during Bandcamp Friday. I agree. Yeah, so anytime you like, I don't know, spend more than like $5 on a specific artist, like you are doing much more than the average person already. You know what I mean? And so yeah, and then streaming I think is just kind of like a long tail, like nice to have, if that makes sense. I don't know. At least in my opinion, from based on doing this professionally for like a little bit now. That's what I've come to, you know what I mean? So yeah. But so yeah, so I hope that's your question, Simply. Let me know if you have any more or anything. But DFL asks, I noticed inside the CD album covers there's a scan code there. Will that bring us to your songs digitally? Yeah, it will actually. So yeah, there's a live set for probably what you got, like a live set, a way to sign up for the Kaiju Club, which I think you might already be in, and then a way to just get a download of the album. You also should have got the downloads sent to your email, but yeah, the scan codes, you can also just grab it from there too. So either one, whatever works for you. And a DFL says that air freshener smells hella good. Hey, thank you, dude. I appreciate it. I'm glad that it smells hella good. Hell yeah. But yeah, Skyer, music streaming is good if you like having your music taste fed to you as opposed to finding on your own. I agree, but I think it's Skyer, I think it's a balance. I don't think you need to do like, oh, only listen to music that was on Bandcamp or only listen to music streaming, because like keeping it real, Skyer. If you really want to talk about like most profit for the artist, really it would be you buy it on Bandcamp and then you go stream it on Spotify, which I know is like, huh? But because then you get the money up front from Bandcamp, and then Spotify pays per stream. So you listen to the same album for like 5 years, then you would just slowly be giving, whereas Bandcamp, once you buy it, it's like, I mean, you own it. So that, like, if Spotify would ever, like, you know, the benefit of that is that if Spotify would ever like blow up or something, or like, you know, Spotify be goofy. If Spotify decides to like tomorrow be like, nope, you no longer own this music anymore, then you know, you have the benefit of owning it on Bandcamp. Sky says, okay, counterpoint, buy it twice on Bandcamp. Okay, now we're meeting in the middle. All right. So yeah, but either way, I think Sky, we're both right. You know what I mean? It's like a, you know, your point, just buy it twice. That's funny, dude. So yeah, but yeah, you get the point. It's like I think there's a world in which you do both, and then like it's what's it called? You know, it's like convenient, and you get to enjoy the music, and you're supporting it. You know what I mean? I think it's a blend. And yeah, you'd be good to go. But yeah, if you were like hardline, I want to own all my music, then yeah, I'd say buy only. And then the Skyrus one, if you really want to support, buy it twice. Hell yeah. But Assuming Dale says, yeah, that was perfect for sure. Bandcamp Fridays are the days to look forward to. Okay, sick. Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad to hear that helped. Yeah, I even had like a friend that like was feeling really like, you know, like kind of like defeated in terms of like, oh, I don't know what streaming service to use. They're all so different, and I don't know which ones I'm gonna like. And I was like, honestly, like, just, you know what I mean? As long as you're buying music here and there, like, you are doing so much for the artistic community. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I wouldn't, it's not something I would stress about too much. As long as you're buying, you know, every once in a while buying something, I think you're doing good. But DFL says, are you into Godzilla and Takatsu? I'm definitely into Godzilla, dude. Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch Godzilla. What's the new one? Supernova's coming out, and you know, they had minus zeros coming out soon, so I'm gonna watch both of those, dude. So hell yeah. And what's if you don't mind me asking, Tokusatsu? Actually, I'm not familiar. My bad if I'm gonna get my Godzilla card revoked. But yeah. Triple Face says that is part of the reason I've been switching to physical media for music, outside of me wanting to use social media less. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also too, like, I think physical media, what's it called? It's also just more fun. It's more tangible. I think it's just a nicer way to like touch and like, you know, appreciate the art that you're spending time with and stuff. Like, I don't know, I love my CDs way more than I do, like, you know, just my Spotify account. That makes sense. And yeah, and I think it is like something nice. Like, I don't know, it's one of my like super kind of random, but that's what I like about skateboarding so much for me, is that it's just like, skateboarding is literally just like wood and metal, and like there's no screen, there's no nothing. It's just you and a piece of wood, and like that's just so down to earth. And I kind of feel the same way about physical music. That's just you and that like piece of, you know, something. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I feel like it helps me like wane from looking at a screen all day. And when I put the CD in, I'm just like, yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know. Does that make sense? But somebody else says, true, buy it twice, get you to a friend. Yeah, exactly. Actually, what was really sick is that Mafia Zero was a lot of Christmas gifts to people. People told me like, oh, you know, I had a friend that likes music, and I think they'd like your stuff. So I was like, fuck it. It was $10. Like, give him a little like CD for Christmas. And they ended up going off to be like, yo, I love this album. So it was kind of, you know, it was pretty cool. I was like, oh, wow. So yeah. Ways, and thank you for and then DFL says, also someone scribbled on my CDs, is it supposed to be that way? Lamau. Thanks for the autographs, of course, dude. Hell yeah. Physical media for the win, hell yeah. And Tokusatsu is like Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Super Sentai. I said, oh yeah. No, there's I like those too. My bad. I didn't know there was like a name for the genre of all that. That's super dope. Yeah, Ultraman super dope. I like all the Ultraman like Godzilla collabs. Those are always like funny clips to see and stuff. I actually, to be honest, I haven't watched the full like Ultraman Godzilla. What's it called? Motherfucking movie. I think it's a movie, but I probably should go back and watch that. I've always like just only seen the clips, but I've watched like a ton of different Godzilla movies, of course. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. And Shrimp Buffet said, did you see the newer animated Ultraman movie? It's something I want to watch. It's on my like to-do list one of these days, because I did see that it got announced and all that. So yeah, or did it already come out? I don't know, but it's on my like, it's on my radar. Shrimp Buffet. Hell yeah! Thanks for asking. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm writing this. Trying to like, I don't know why, but I can't talk and write at the same time. I'm like, But I mean, it's completely fine. And thank you for being such an awesome, oh yeah, artistic. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna pack up Michaela's artist copies for the Straw Monsters, since they like did the art for it. And DFL says, yeah, people who are into kaiju usually blended tokusatsu. Yeah, I don't know, something about it, dude. It's just, you know, we're all cut from the same cloth, it feels like. Thank you. And then Shrimp Buffet says, I think you'll really like it. It's a very sweet story. It has amazing animations and visuals. Okay, sick. Yeah. I don't know. Future me, when I rewatch this VOD, look into the newer animated Ultraman movie because it's dang. And I should watch it once I have the time. Hell yeah, Shrimp Buffet. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for the reminding me to watch it, dude. Yeah, because I got a bunch of stuff I got to catch up on. I got to watch Sergeant Frog, and I got to watch that. I still want to hella watch Sergeant Frog, because that's just a cool name for an anime, dude. It's on Netflix. Future Kaiju, yes. Future Kaiju is on Netflix. Thank you, Shrimp Buffet. Super. Hey, Hector.
New merch order from Hector.
Thank you, Hector. If you're watching, let me know and I'll pack it right now. And I've been jamming, dude. Yo, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? How's your Tuesday? All right, my bad. I gotta write these notes. We love everything. Enjoy the think. Yeah, at some point I might have to. I always tell myself I'm gonna write the notes before I start streaming, and then like I'll be just like out here in here just chilling, vibing, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's time to start streaming, and then I'm like, oh no, I didn't write the notes yet. But DFL says, all right, peace, bro. Just wanted to tap in. Love your music. Thanks for tapping in, dude. I appreciate you asking. Stopping by, hanging out with us for a little bit. But yeah, dude, enjoy the rest of your night, and thanks for the love of my music, man. I really, really appreciate it. Hell yeah, dude. And I gotta like connect these two together somehow. That's why it hurts me so. They say it's just a phase. I'm not gonna lie, dude, this song is honestly... Oh, fuck. God, I wrote a note and then totally like stuck something on top of the note. I didn't use my whole brain. Okay, we're good. I like wrote a whole note and then stuck a sticky note on top of it. And it's like, no, bro, why did you do that? Okay, there we go. That's good enough. But yeah, okay, I guess I could start talking about the one thing. So I'm gonna try my best to start talking about it. But really, okay. So the title of the stream is how to sell out your own. What is it? If you've been watching for 30 minutes so far, and you're like, bro, he did not even start talking about this. Oh, it's called How to Sell Out a Niche Internet Music Live Show. So, I think now we're here. You know, whoever's watching, Prince Motorola, if you're still watching, take out the notebook. So, step one, you've come to this video. You've come to Uncle Groovy to figure out how you're gonna run a show. And I think, and this is so like cliche. Helen Seller real quick says, dumb question, but is the Destroy All Humans, Destroy All Monsters New Game Plus, will it be on vinyl? Yes. Destroy All Monsters? No worries, dude. But yeah, the Alien, dude, that Alien game, I played it. Destroy All Humans is super sick, dude. No worries. But yes, it is on vinyl. In fact, let me grab one, because I'm about to pack one for Michaela, so I need one anyways. I'll show it to you right now. Yeah, it's dropping on Friday, Helen Seller. Oh my god. This is what they're gonna look like. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Here they are. And you might get $60 from me then. Hey, thank you. I appreciate Helen Seller. Ooh, so pretty. Hey, thank you, dude. Hell yeah. And I've yet to reveal the this design yet. Look at this. It's dropping on Friday. Boom! Look at this fucking. I mean, you can't see it that well. There you go. Can you see the vinyl design, dude? It's like a super sick, like a swirl. So yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be able to see it, cause I mean, it's less about it's more just cause it's dim in here. But But I mean, you can kind of see it still. But yeah, oh, there you go. There you go. There it is. Yeah, look at that, dude. So yeah. But yeah. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate y'all being stoked on it. Yeah. Sugar Fan, I'm gonna take notes even though I don't post music. Yeah, no worries, dude. I mean, you never know. Like, life comes at you fast, man. You know, today, you never know. Tomorrow might be the day. And Sugar Face says, "Ooh, so pretty." Oh, yo, BP just came to say what's up, dude. Thanks for saying what's up, BP. Thanks for stopping by. How's your motherfucking Tuesday going, dude? How you doing? So video, I will be buying, dude. Thank you. Hell yeah. And what's it called? Let me oh shit, let me catch up. Subidale, you're gonna grab it? Thank you, Subidale. I appreciate you, man. And I mean, I'll probably purposely like save your Subidale for the next time we stream, just so I could like ask you what you want. You know what I mean? But Helen Sarah says, "Holy shit, I love that." Hey, thank you, dude. Oh heck yeah. And Triple Face says, "Can't wait to get the CD for my collection." Hey, thank you, dude. Hell yeah. We got CDs too. They're right here. I think I've showed off on a couple shit, but you know, they look the same, except, you know, CD. Skyer says, "Oh, heck yeah. Thank you, Skyer. I appreciate it, yo." Yeah, the Helen Sarah, I'm going to display these hanging up in my room, so holy sick, dude. Thank you. I'm going to cop it on Thursday. Hell yeah. And are you streaming on Thursday, if not Friday? I'll do another stream purpose. What's it called? Yeah, I'm streaming on Thursday and Sunday. So, yeah. I forgot. I don't know what tier are you? You might be in the... Yeah, you might. I don't know. When on Thursday, Helen Seller, I don't know. If anything, when you stop by on Thursday, I can... we can figure this out. Maybe, I don't know, if Simply Hideo wouldn't be like, bro. But no, I mean, Simply wouldn't be like, bro. But if anything, maybe I can like post the link early in this chat for everyone being awesome and always stopping by. Because it technically drops on Friday. That's why I'm kind of like, put it up. But Simply Hideo, they're in the Monster Kingdom, so low key they get it on Wednesday. So yeah. But what's it called? And then Zaku and Prince Miller are gonna hang out. All right, sick. That's cool. But and Simply Hideo says, "Hey, I don't mind at all." Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, if you grab it on Wednesday, Simply Hideo, or Thursday, either one, I'll make sure not to pack it till Thursday, and then I can hook it up for you. Because yeah, man, I appreciate you. So yeah. Okay, cool. So yes, we are gonna have vinyl. And I got 100 of them. So yeah, they're all, I mean, this is only 25. I have another 3 boxes in there. But yeah, Subideo. Hey, all right, hell yeah, dude. Thanks for the send the love over and the emojis. You as well, dude. But okay, cool. So we're talking about running a show. So I know it's kind of cliche, but I think we should start with, why do you want to run a show if you're watching this? And I think that's a really important question, like a really important question. That I know is crazy, but trust me, if you want to run a show for money, I promise you on everything, you would make more money doing Uber Eats. I swear you would. I swear. Because like shows are such a like gamble, dude. It's like you might as well like sports bet, dude, because it's wild. I mean, of course, it's like not that risky, but it's pretty risky, dude. Like, it's pretty risky because there's so many things that could happen. To be fair, if you're in a smaller town, it's like, so here's the weird thing. Being in a smaller town actually works to your advantage because it's a lot easier to get like, I don't know, 1,000 people when there's not much to do than there is to like come. Because if you're like in a bigger city like LA, which is where most people live in cities, if you're in like a bigger city like LA, New York, even like, I don't know, Chicago, or like even like somewhere like Phoenix, there's so much going on that's possibly going on like a weekend, that it's like, you're competing with like everything on top of like people's family and stuff like, so yeah, so it's hard. Somebody else says that's crazy to hear. Yeah, dude, it honestly, yeah. So, and the people who like do shows tend to have like a fuck ton of money behind them. So they like maybe like miss on like, they probably want like a 50-50 success. Because when you win big, but you can also lose big too. So it's like you kind of want to find the average where you're always kind of on top, and you'll find like, your specific months and nights that do well. But like in general, like if you're trying to make money, your first show, I would be like, hey, look, we're going to lose money on this first show, and then maybe learn the lessons, take the L, because it takes a couple L's to spell millions, right? So you know what I mean? Like that's the lesson. But yo, I don't know if I can say your name, dude. But Magic TV. Hell yeah, dude. Good to see you, Vertical Big Dog. Hell yeah, dude. I love your name. Good to see you. How's your Tuesday going, dog? But Helen Seller, does it matter for the Monster Kingdom to get it Wednesday? Oh, any tier, Helen Seller. But I don't know if, I'll be honest, I think even if you do even if you're just to free trial it right now, get the thing, and I'm not even trying to like be weird, but like even if you're to free trial it right now and then cancel, I think you might still get the email. But Helen Seller, like, dude, if you pop through the stream on Thursday, I'll give you the link, dog. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll give you. If you come by on Thursday, I'll just post it in the chat for you. Don't worry about it. So, but I mean, if you want to join, hey, hell yeah, it's pretty sick. You get all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, but it's fine, little bit. Give me a second. I'm gonna give you the $10. Okay, cool, sick. Thank you, Helen Seller. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, after you sign up, let me know, and I'll double check that you'll get added to it and stuff. So yeah. But Prince Motorola says, so you're telling me just to start a gambling addiction? I mean, honestly, dude, running a show, it feels like you have one, let me tell you. Let me tell you. So yeah, I wouldn't say start one, but it's gonna feel like you have one. Hey, Adrian.
New merch order from Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate you. Let me know if you're watching. What's it called? If you're watching, I'll pack it right now. I'm sorry, Adrian. I'm laughing too hard in my head because of Prince Motorola. Yeah. Oh, you're part of it now? Okay, let me check. Let me see if I can make sure you got in. Thank you, Helen Seller. I appreciate you joining, dude. And TR Tastemaker, dude, what's up? Good to see you. How you doing? And TR says, shows are tough. You really have to love it and be motivated and ready to learn from mistakes to throw constant. Yup. See, they know. They know. So yeah. Yeah, because TR also does a bunch of shows. Their coast, and like, yeah, dude, running shows is tough. But Roses, yo, Roses, good to see you. How you doing? Meant to clarify, last stream that my stuff was actually on its way, and I was referring to receiving an email about it. Oh, okay, my bad. But actually, it arrived yesterday. Everything is fine. Thanks again. I love it. Yeah, I'm so glad to hear. Cool. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it made it safe and sound, Roses. Yeah, thanks for clarifying. Just because, you know what I mean? I'm glad to hear that it all made it okay. Hell yeah. All right, cool. So I gotta find. Make sure. I might take a while to drop in. Let me check this one. You know. All right, cool. Here we go. Let me double check. I'm double checking something for Helen Seller real quick to make sure that they'll get the early email. And you are... Yes. Okay, so if I wrote the... So I have like... So the thing about email stuff, Helen Seller, it's really complicated, but pretty much you have to like make a diagram, and pretty much you are in the diagram for the launch. And because you now joined, you'll go down the path of like, hey, they're in the Monster Kingdom. So then, yeah, you should get the email. I can tell you the exact time too. Let me pull it up for you. And day early, yes, sure. My favorite album. Okay, thank you, Helen Seller. I appreciate it, dog. Hell yeah. I'm glad it's your favorite. That's so sick. Yeah, you will get it. I mean, you and Simply Adeo now will get it on what's today? Yeah. Wait, no. Tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Or, you know, give it like 5 minutes for the code thing to run. But yeah, so 11:35 a.m. You should get the email with the link and everything tomorrow. No, yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, cool. But thanks again, Helen, so I appreciate it. But TR says, I'm doing good, very happy and inspired to see you committing to a regular stream. I know how tough it is. Yeah, dude, it is. Yeah, even though you don't have a lot of programming preparation, it can be real. Hard to set aside the time. I love you are connecting with friends and fans. Cheers. Hey, thank you, TR. I appreciate the support, man. That's what's up. Hell yeah. Dude, that means a lot. Yeah, dude, I've been, man, just going through it, dude. Just just make sure you stay consistent. You gotta keep grinding, grind doesn't stop. So yeah. But yeah, I appreciate the support, man, and like you recognizing that. It means a lot, like for real. But yeah, man, thank you. Yeah, you as well. I'm super excited to see how that you're gonna be on the news pretty soon, dude. That's so sick. Hell yeah. Yeah, we gotta, yeah. And but yeah, I appreciate it. I don't know, I'm fumbling with my words. I'm like, oh, compliments, oh no. Yeah, thank you. Like just says, just got the free signed CD, gotta find how to play. Hey, thank you so much for grabbing it. I'm glad I made it safe and sound. And do you have like a retro console? Like PS2, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1? They all play them. I think PS3 might play CDs too. Otherwise, like go to the thrift store if you want. Or like, I don't know, just, one of your homies might have a car that's a CD player still. Either one, all those. But thanks again, Hector, I appreciate it. And Helen Zeller says, dude, how was your day? Also, bro, was it cold for you this morning or was it me? So honestly, dude, I didn't wake up till like 1:30 p.m. I stayed up till like 6 last night working on random stuff. So yeah, so because of that, I didn't wake up till way later. But yeah, it's been good. Yeah, it's been, I made pasta earlier, so I ate like a ton of food before this. And yeah, I'm chilling. Yeah, for the most part. Got some tea. You know what I mean? I'm chilling, dude. How about you? How was your day, Helen Seller? I think unless you already told me, my bad if so. But yeah. But somebody else said, hell yeah, sick, dude. Rosa says everything's been okay. Yeah, everything's been good. Yeah, there's been a lot going. Yeah, there has been a lot going on. Yeah, but everything is going okay. And thank you on the pasta. And yeah, the only thing. Also, I've been getting ready to move because I know Rosa said lots going on. Yeah, I'm moving pretty soon, so I've been taking stuff down. Been getting the studio kind of starting to get it packed up. So yeah. But yeah. Triple said, bro, mood. I'm waking up at 2 p.m. Yeah, dude, for real. Or like around 1:30. Hey, I'm such a night owl, dude. Mick Shoddy, dude, good to see. Oh, and I hydrated for you, Roses. My bad. The tea was super hot. Mick Shoddy, I'm here now. Hey, good to see you, man. How you doing? And Mick Shoddy says, I finally got my order yesterday since I didn't get it Friday. Okay, oh, my bad, dude. Yeah. But I'm glad to hear I finally made it. Yeah, sometimes the post system is like just really, really random. But it's like, it's USPS, man. You know what I mean? They be doing what they're doing. But Helen Teller says, OMG, so you got past the cold morning? Believe it or not, I saw my breath this morning, and you know why I'm saying that. Yeah. yeah. Exactly. Yeah, but it has been a little bit on the colder side. So yeah. I mean, especially on the East Coast, too. It's like super ice storms out there, but yeah. But I know why. I know why you're saying, but I don't want to expose anything. I won't say the wrong thing. The McShoddy says, you put in so many stickers, but I will find a way to use all of them. Hell yeah, dude. Like I had to, man. You know what I mean? So yeah. Hell yeah. But hopefully you find a way. But no pressure. But like hopefully you do to be sick. But I'm glad you appreciate this the what's it called? The stickers, dude. And I'm glad your portable CD player made it. That's super sick. And it worked. Hell yeah. That's what's up. But Helen Seller said my day was amazing. Got off work at 2 p.m. so I was off what I felt like early. Then went to the dentist for a kind of emergency visit. Found out good news. Okay, sick. I'm glad to hear that it all. Yeah, I'm so glad to hear. Helen Seller, that's dope. Yeah, I mean, dentist appointments can be scary, so I'm glad that it all just kind of like worked out for you. Cause yeah, I know I'd be stressing before a dentist appointment sometimes. So I'm glad to hear it was all good news. And Rosa says, the post office occasionally likes to mess with me. It'd say it already arrived when it wasn't until the next day. Yeah, it happened to me, like, literally, yeah, I got, like, a postcard delivered for, like, a Monster Kingdom thing. And, yeah, it said it was delivered, and I went, and, like, it wasn't there, and they were like, hey, sorry. And I literally came 2 days later, and they were like, oh, yeah, it's here. I'm like, what are they doing, dude? I think it's because, like, they have, like, the USPS actually is, like, really brutal in terms of, like, you need to deliver this many packages in the day or else, like, yada, yada, yada. So sometimes, if I had to guess, I bet some of the employees just like, they don't have enough time. So they just like say it got delivered just so their boss doesn't like yell at them. So it's like the incentive structure, I bet is all messed up. So yeah. Like if you were to work there. Hope you love the vinyl. And but yeah, and Helen Teller says the opposite, dude. It was some to not really worry about. Okay, yeah, Helen Teller. We were talking about the dentist appointment for some think. Oh my god, you stickers. But Rosa says that's awesome. Yeah. The Trip Buffet says yeah, mail stuff. McShoddy also agrees with you, Rosa. So we're all in the same boat. But Trip Buffet says yeah, mail stuff sucks sometimes. I was supposed to get a replacement pen for my drawing tablet on Saturday and still hasn't arrived with no updates, which sucks because I gotta catch up on my artwork stuff. Oh yeah, that super sucks. Yeah, I hate, oh dude. Yeah, waiting for a package that you actually need is like the most nerve-wracking thing. It's like, no, please just give it to me. Especially when it's like for work. That's like the most stressful. I remember once I bought like a Mac that I needed to like write code work stuff, and it was like, dang. And I was like stressing because I was like, I literally need to work. Like, please get here faster. But Logan, dude, good to see you. How you doing? You officially switched to Shopify? Hey, welcome, dude. Welcome to the Shopify world, man. Fourth Wall's editor was pissing me off since I had to do so many HTML, CSS tweaks just to have square images. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Shopify, honestly, also kind of, you have to do some goofy stuff in their editor sometimes too. So hope it works better for you though. But yeah, man. Either way, yeah, hope, you know, thanks for, I mean, not thanks. I don't work for Shopify, but you know, now we're on the same platform. That's cool. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, welcome to my side of the internet, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. My side of e-commerce. There we go. But yeah. And then, cool. Hey, Tyler.
Order from Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler. If you're watching, let me know, and I'll pack it for you right now. But Skyer says, I just hate it when a package gets to a nearby city and then proceeds to stay there from 1 to 3. Oh, yeah, dude. Once that happened to somebody, so I shipped a package. I feel so bad. I have someone in the Kaiju Club. I guess I could say their first name isn't too bad. But their name is Philip. And they're all the way out of Australia, dude. And one time I shipped them like a bunch of vinyl, and they got stuck in the neighboring city for like literally a month. And I was like, what is going on? And you know, they were like, the only phone numbers they had were all in Australian. And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry, Philip, but can you call them for me? And he was like, I was getting, but it took him a while. I don't think he got scared, but he was just like, oh, okay. And like, so he called them and they were like, oh, or bad. You know what I mean? And then it finally went over there. But like, dude, I always feel so, I'm like, no, dude. But yeah, I feel bad. I'm like, because I don't know, there's been a couple times just like the US to Australia shipping network is like so crazy. So it's always like we're up in the air about like, I mean, thankfully, like they kind of know shipping from the US is kind of wild. So like Philip's kind of used to it, but like, it's just always been like every time like, okay, we're going to get this to you, man. Like people always talk about like, what's the strategy this time to make sure you get it? You know what I mean? So yeah. But Daisy, good to see you, Daisy. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Dude, I just picked up my Sub-Zero CD in the mail last week. It's been on replay in the CD player since. My boyfriend and I love it. Yay! Awesome blind purchase. You got 2 new fans. Thank you so much, Daisy. I appreciate the kind words. And thank you so much for like enjoying it with your boyfriend. That's so sick. But yeah, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I'm glad to hear it made it safe and sound. It's just been on replay. That's what's up. So yeah, thank you, Daisy. I appreciate it. But Skyer says, for real, how long does it take a 3 days package to travel? How long does it take 3 days? Oh my God. Like, how does it take 3 days a package to travel 3 hours? Oh my God, my blah, 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 blah. But yeah, no, for real, Skyer. It's funny because sometimes it'll be like ridiculously fast, and sometimes, yeah, they just like, I don't know, I guess they just don't feel like it that day. And Logan says, I'm using HTML instead of images for banners because I like having different style banners. My only issue is Shopify, there's no free plan. Yep, there's not, unfortunately. With slightly higher fees, which would be amazing. Oh, yeah. Maybe Shopify might do it one day. So we'll see. But I don't know. I've been liking Shopify. It can get real expensive though as you start adding more apps and stuff. But I don't know. All in all, like I've had a pretty good experience. I'm not gonna lie. Like once you learn it, you're kind of like, oh, I get it. And Rosa says, oh my god, it's insane. Yeesh, a month. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I feel like I know the shipping logistics of the planet.
New merch order from Ezra.
Thank you, Ezra. I appreciate the support. Let me know if you're watching. I'll pack it right now. But yeah, just from doing all this like Groovy Kaiju stuff, I just know the shipping system a little too well. But yeah, being stuck in the month is like, I don't know. Every time I feel so bad. But I'm like, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just international shipping. You know what I mean? So yeah. And then Logan says it's also because Tap Stitch, like any other pod supplier from the man, oof, that would piss me off if I got stuck in a neighboring city, especially if I needed to call and I had a different country code. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, because at that point, like, I can't even call them because I don't live in Australia, so it's like, dang. So I'm like, you know what I mean? But even then, in that case too, I'm like, look, like, I'll still ship it to you for free, dog. Just call them first, because yeah, and every time that's happened now, I've always been like, look, I'll at least give you one more shot. I'll just ship it completely. I will take the L, because like I want them to have it. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll take the L on getting it over to you, like ship you a whole another one if it like something messes up. Oh, like it's always been like my policy. But what's it called? Like unspoken policy, because like if you look at my website, just in case anyone's ever like, I'm like, oh, yeah. But my human heart policy is that's what I tend to do. What's it called? And but in that case too, I'm like, when it comes to international stuff, I'm like, dude, honestly, you're probably better off just calling them, because it's going to take a month to get over to your country and to begin, so that you'll get it faster if you were to call them. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for me to, I mean, like start all the way over. You know what I mean? So that's also makes it annoying, because it's like, dude, I would have this like so long ago. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, we just got one more note, and then I'll go back to rambling about throwing shows. Hey, sorry, it's funny, right as you did that. Thank you, Prince Motorola. I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, I pretty much, I'll also keep it real with you, Prince Motorola. What I do is because I have a lot of messages I alternate between emails and talking to people. So like on like Mondays, let's say, I'll like reply to Instagram in my phone, and then Tuesdays only emails, and then Wednesdays Instagram my phone, and Thursdays only emails. So yeah, so today is a phone day. If that makes sense. But yeah, okay. So we're all caught up. So yeah, so as I was saying, my bad. I know this video's gonna be super long, but hey, I hope you got the ×2 speed me. Take notes. But oh, Logan says, Melanie, I can't relate. I'm not that popular. I mean, no, maybe one day, dude. You got the what's it called? You're pretty cool, man. You got that swag. It's only a matter of time. Things, the universe unfolds as it needs to on its own timing. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta like wait for the wave to catch you. If that makes sense. You ever heard of divine timing? I don't know. Let me not get too woo-woo, but yeah. But Logan says, my only issue is, even though Shopify has like thousands of themes, most of them are paid, and it's super annoying to make one from scratch or based off a free one. Yeah, that is true. Honestly though, dude, keeping it real, the default theme yeah, keeping it real, you should probably just use the default theme for like, because when it comes to buying stuff, people like something that's familiar because they trust it more. You know what I mean? And because the default theme is the default theme, people just have intuitively seen it more, so they're more likely to trust your Shopify website. Low key. I'm not saying it's like de facto, this is what it is, but like that's what, I don't know, behavioral psychology books and stuff would lean me towards. So I would kind of just modify the default one, and that's kind of what I did. I just modified the default one and was like, cool. And now that, you know what I mean? Because then when you go to it, it's like, it's simple. People kind of understand the interface because there's so many other Shopify sites with that similar interface that like it works out. So yeah. And then okay, cool. Extra, super easy extra support, and this is the last note I gotta write. The tunes. Enjoy the... Okay, so we start off. So again, ×2 speed me. So I know you can't right now because I'm live, but but whoever, whichever friend I send this to in the future or whatever, ×2 speed me. Anyways, take notes. But it's okay. So first question is, why do you want to run a show? If it's money, we've already established, don't do it. You might as well just Uber Eats. Number 2 is, I would say, if you're running a show because you want to like be famous or feel more accepted or feel cool or just be in the limelight, that's also, in my opinion, a horrible, like, don't do it. Do not do that. There's so many other ways I think you could have that same experience that don't involve all the amount of work, time, and effort you're going to go into booking your own show. And they can honestly backfire if, like, because your first show probably isn't going to go the greatest. So if your whole thing is like, I want to be on stage, doing your own thing, it's not necessarily gonna get you on stage. If anything, it'll be more of an ego hit if it doesn't work out. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of, I think especially with most business and particularly most art, you have to lead with the person like you're trying to like do stuff for. Like if you're doing it for yourself because you want to be on this, it's not gonna work out. You have to do it because you want to bring community together, because you care about the people in your local community. Hard stop, period to period on the, you know what I mean? All caps, period. You have to do it because you like people in community, and you care about them and you want to show them a good time, or else you're gonna, I promise you, I don't want to say promise, but I'm like 85% certain it's not gonna work out because people are gonna sniff it out, dude. And if you make decisions based on like what's best for you and not what's best for the people that are coming to the show, then it's just not gonna work. You have to like to want to, you know, serve the people that you're trying to bring to your show. That's like really what it comes down to. So don't do it for the clout. Don't do it for the money. And I've explained why now. Clout, because you're gonna just, it's gonna be such a headache, and it could actually hurt your clout more than it's gonna improve it, low key. And then money, you're gonna lose a lot of money. And then you know what I mean? Even if the first one's really good, doesn't mean the second one's gonna, you know, like, you have to be ready to just light your wallet on fire. I'm so serious, sadly. So yeah. And Rosa says, from what I've heard, makes sense. Yeah. This is the real stuff. So yeah. So and then what's there any other reasons why someone might want to start a show? In a fantasy. Thank you again, Simply Dave, for showing me how to do this. But also, am I yelling? Probably was yelling, my bad. But what would be another reason someone would start a show that I would be like, I don't know about that, man? I'm trying to think, y'all. I don't know, but pretty much just, well, I guess rather than saying not to run a show, the reason why you should throw a show is because A, you have like an audience. So I would say you have to have like an audience already around you. Like even if you're like, I don't know, even if you're like a comedian, like you probably want to have some type of like local scene around you that you've been a part of consistently, that you know people around you would want to show up. You know what I mean? Or like in my case, it was like I had a growing audience of people buying the free CD thing that I was like, hey, like I know there's people in LA that probably want to come to a show. So you have to have a big audience. Oh, and that's the other reason too. In the last, I guess it kind of does move slowly into the next area of this. So don't throw a show because of money. Don't throw a show because you want to. You have to throw it because you want to serve the people, the audience that you are starting to curate. And here's the thing, another hard truth. I think people sometimes want to throw the show without building the audience first, and they think they can throw the show to have people come up just because it's a show. And like, there is that is like total shotgun to the foot, because like, you know what I mean? Like, people just go to a show just cause. Like, sometimes they do. And and maybe if you like have a show where really you're just DJing at a bar that already has a built-in audience, then okay, yeah, but no one's gonna like really want to be a part of what you're building or like your mission or whatever you want to call it by just you throwing shows. You have to build something else first, because show is like final boss. Like trying to like do something and just I'm gonna go throw a show is like, you know, in Dark Souls how you can go straight to the final boss if you wanted to, or like Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild, you can run straight to Ganon if you wanted to. Sure, You could run straight to Ganon at the beginning of Breath of the Wild if you wanted to, but show is like Ganon. That's Ganondorf. You know what I mean? Rosa says, even though I'd be that person, people like to know what they're getting us into, so that's understandable. Yeah, thank you, Rosa. I appreciate it, because I feel like I've had a lot of friends that just like go, I want to throw a show, and it's like, no. Like the whole like, you're gonna lose money. It'll be 10 times worse if you go straight to running at Ganon. Smart says, so you're trying to say I'm skip half the game? I'll be honest with you, it's not just you. You've been in the scene, but I like, you know, like there'll be people that I'll meet. So I'll be okay. I do this live, but a little bit Prince Myrtle, but I'm talking like there's some friends that I have that are like, oh, I know, I have like, oh, Dominic.
New merch order from Dominic.
Thank you, Dominic. I appreciate, if you're watching, let me know. I'll pack it right now. But I have some friends, Prince Myrtle, that'll have like, you know, maybe like 2,000 followers on SoundCloud. Like, oh shit, it's time to run a show. I got 2,000 followers on SoundCloud, and it's like, hold up. Hold up, because you know what I mean. Because it's like you haven't made merch yet. You know, I know that you have to make merch, but you know, you've just gotten, you know, some followers. Like there's still so many more layers of things you need to try first before show. You know what I mean? Like you haven't even fought the first divine beast yet. You know what I mean? And Breath of the Wild, and you're running straight to Ganon because you like beat up a couple bokoblins. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't try. I'm just saying like, you know, get ready to get your ass handed to you if you want to run straight to Ganon, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so that shouldn't necessarily stop you, but just, I don't know, just know what you're getting yourself into. Because like, I feel like, I wish someone had told me this, because, I mean, what I'm telling you right now, because there's been so many shows where I just like burnt so much money or so much time or something like that, I wish I had known, like, I probably should have taken like other steps first, or at least known that like me getting my ass handed to me was gonna happen if I tried to skip steps. You know what I mean? But Rosa says, what's the advice for someone who's just started with nothing? Just be patient and focus on getting an audience without starting a show. Yeah, thanks for asking, Rosa. So I'm glad you're asking, because what I'd recommend, I actually recommended this buddy once, if you want to do like a music thing, honestly, I would start with just like a local label. Like, and I know it sounds crazy, but not crazy, but I think you should be going to shows to begin with. Also, I'm going to talk about that when you go to like finding a venue, but you should already be going to shows in your scene. And I think where you should get started probably is like working with the artists in your community. Maybe help them with some Bandcamp releases and stuff. Try to like associate, either try like a label, start an email list, start just showing up at shows and like maybe as like a merch vendor. You know what I mean? Like some way you can kind of like start to build an audience around you, whether it be through, you know, being the merch guy at some other guy's show, whether it's by releasing music for a few of the artists in your scene, by even just something as simple as like selling CDs for like a few of the artists in your scene, just to like, you know, or if you're a musician, just releasing a ton of music. So like building an audience where it's like the upfront cost is, you know, order some CDs is like $100. To run a show, it costs like $2K. You know what I mean? If you're doing like a real show. So like, you know, start off a little bit. Hey, William.
New merch order from William.
Thank you, William. If you're watching, let me know. I'll pack it for you right now. But yeah, Rose, that's what I would say, is just like start somewhere small. Particularly, I would start with like either in-person networking, and that's by networking, I mean like meeting local artists, trying to be involved with their shows before doing your own in some way or form, whether you're like, I don't know, you're running merch, maybe you're helping with lights, maybe you're the visual guy, maybe you're even just, you know, helping the artist set up before shows, just so you're meeting people and like people know your name and you're starting to make friends and like grow, and because you're going to grow an Instagram following just from like being the guy who's at all the shows, you know what I mean? Or an email list, or again, what do you think? So yeah, I'm just repeating myself, but you get what I'm trying to say. So it's like something that's like a much smaller like lift. It's like, you know, it's like kind of like you're walking to the 4-foot side of the pool and you're slowly getting in the water, rather than just being like diving straight in. You know what I mean? Logan says Adam is the only artist who can throw a show the day he announces it and have thousands of people there. Adam Killa, yeah. But Adam Killa also, he also, you know, he's a damn killer. He has like almost like 1 million followers now, which is kind of crazy. I have a story about that too. But Adam Killa, you know, he's kind of like a master marketer. Let's keep it real. I know it's like, oh, he's the funny guy, but actually he's, you know, if you play in the game, you can recognize LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Like, You know what I'm saying? If you really play basketball, you really understand how good LeBron James is. If you catch my drift. So, yeah. Chris Miller says 2026 is the grind year then? Oh yeah. Yeah, I would say you need to grind for at least a couple years before you even start to think, I want show. You know what I mean? In my opinion. If you want successful show, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I'm saying, like, if you want to fight Ganon, like, you know, you'd have to at least fight the first divine, at least try to fight the first two divine beasts before trying to run. You know, because I don't know, because anyone who does get the reference, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you start the game with nothing, you have to fight 4 essentially mini bosses, and then you get to fight the final boss. So I'm saying at least try to fight 2 of the mini bosses before you go straight to final boss. You know what I mean? So yeah, Logan says, I know what you mean, Unc Lamau. Yeah. But yo, Lucas, good to see you, dude. Just saying what's up. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Lucas. It's good to see you. How's your Tuesday going, Lucas? Rosa says, oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, thank you guys for asking though, Roses, because yeah, I'm kind of doing this like off the cuff. I wanted to make PowerPoint slides and stuff, but I just haven't had time. But Prince Motorola has been waiting on me to do this for a long time. So, and Lucas says, what's your ultimate goal with music? Honestly, I'm glad you asked. It kind of, I need to like shift it a little bit, but or shifted in terms of like how I pitch it. But as of right now, honestly, my ultimate goal with music is the Monster Kingdom mission. If you're familiar of my Monster Kingdom thing, I kind of want to make it the ultimate goal for Groovy Kaiju in general. But as of right now, like kind of like I have the Monster Kingdom tagline because I really had sat down for that. But that is my ultimate goal with music. Is let me tell you about it because I want to say it correctly, not because I'm trying to like, oh, I thought of this, but like I genuinely want to say it correctly. What's my goal with music is to enable the creation of music, art, and community to help people fight their monsters of the past, present, and future. So essentially make art and community that helps people like get through life, get through some of the harder parts of life. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's my ultimate goal with it. So things like this stream where we now have this room where we can all hang out because this is a community, you know what I mean? Music, of course, that we're listening to. And I don't know, there's been lots of moments in here that I feel like we've all grown through together. I don't know why this one's the first one that comes to mind, but even something as simple as like, how to like make more friends and stuff like that. I think that's something we've talked about a lot. Or like how to like, I know it's really weird, but like how to talk like to like people we have crushes on and stuff. I think that's a monster that has faced our past, present, and probably will face our future that we've had to be able to talk through our community here and like feel better about with songs like Feelings for You and stuff like that. I mean, so like, I don't know. I feel like we're accomplishing the mission in little small ways as we go. So yeah. But I hope that answers the question, Lucas. But Prince Motorola says, no, I'm fighting Eggman right off the bat. So that's the thing. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying, like, be prepared for it to be a hard time, to not be the easiest time. And Logan says, I forgot what Aviscerall song this was, but once you played a song on stream that sounds like it uses the same sample as Orchid Adventure DX. I don't know if it's the same one or similar. I think it's similar, Logan, because I think I've only used Orca once, but I have actually used the same sample for some Aviscerall and Groovy Kaiju songs. But I think Orca isn't one of them. But they might be from the same sample pack. I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah, so you probably caught that. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. But Lucas says, that's really awesome, man. Thank you, dude. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really big on like, you know, if you're doing something, which is kind of why I started the whole, you know, it kind of loops into why we're doing the show thing, is because like I was saying at the beginning, is like you have to have a good mission of why you want to do it. Because if your mission isn't like I want to bring community together at this show because I care about every person that worked all month long to afford this $10 ticket just so they can watch my friends play music. If you don't care about that, number one, it's not gonna work. So yeah. Or if you're not, I've seen some people just be really passionate about the music they're doing. Like, if I may, Zaku can call me out if I'm wrong, but like Tune in Tokyo, they just really, really, really are passionate about why isn't this like more obscure, and at least in the American audience, obscure Japanese music not appreciated as well as like Michael Jackson or like your Stevie Wonder and stuff. Like they find it like, people should know. So like they're like, I have to run the show, you know what I mean, to educate people. So yeah. But Rosa says, I gotta say that I love that goal. You've really made such a space. I appreciate it. Thank you, Roses. I appreciate it too. Yeah, I'm honestly like so happy that this has been going so good. See Zaku. Well, that's what he's, if I may, Zaku, Marcus has told me that. That's like one of their main motivations. But like, but I guess what I'm really trying to point at, Zaku, is like the motivation of like some of the stuff you guys do isn't like, oh, because we want to make money off of playing City. Like that's not the goal at all. You know what I mean? Like if that was the goal, you guys would have been like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Or like we're all trying to be famous. Like, no, I mean, that's not really, like, if you're not doing it for like a good reason. Yeah, Zach, okay, yeah, see, yeah, exactly. Or, you know, I mean, you get what I'm putting down, I think. But that's the point, because, yeah, just for reference, Zaku is like a famous internationally, wait, have you played internationally? Either way, you played across the US. A touring, a US touring, well, you play internationally because you play in Japan. Duh, you're an internationally touring DJ playing city pop. So it's another good frame of reference. But Logan says go to mission with the Monster Kingdom. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Logan. Hell yeah. Zaku says Japan and Korea. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I blinked on that. You know, I'm also doing all this stuff too, yeah. But anyways, so you have a good mission with shows. So okay, we still got 2 hours. Okay, so I got plenty of time to keep rambling. I hope you're locked in. I'm sorry, piss my roll. but yeah. So what was I on? You gotta start the show for the right reason. Don't do it because of the bad reasons, essentially. We were at the step of like try to do something small first. Yeah, so pretty much you have to build an audience first, particularly local. And Zaku says Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Vietnam this year. Oh hell yeah, dude! I want to go to Vietnam so bad. Vietnam also looks hella cool. Taiwan's gonna be super sick too. Hell yeah, dude! I'm so happy for you, Zaku. I'm so fucking proud of you, dude. That's so sick. Hell yeah. But yeah, pretty much. So point one is, I'm sorry, I'm going in circles. But point one was, do it for the right reason. Don't do it for money or clout, because you're better off doing Uber Eats. I swear to God, you're better off doing Uber Eats and producing from your car. The number two is try to build a local audience first, or any kind of audience, but particularly local if you can. Because like even if you're like, bro, I'm gonna get so here's the point about 1 million listeners with a dam. He can kind of do it because like he's constantly engaging with every if you look, he's posting like 10 times. It's kind of wild. But here's the thing, I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone, but I remember once at the venue I used to throw a show at, there was a guy that was like a famous model that did his first ever DJ set. Literally had 1 million followers on Instagram, right? There was maybe like 50 people on like a Friday night, maybe. But dude, he has 1 million followers. You know what I mean? So like, that's why it's not only do you need like a big audience, you need particularly a big local audience. So you have to know for a fact that whoever audience you're building is local. That's why I suggested things like going to shows and like trying to be involved in some way, or even just involved in your local artists. You don't have to be involved with just one and put all your eggs in one basket, but even just knowing who's who, being a part of the scene and supporting the scene in some, whether you're like, I don't know, even it's like you're doing tarot at the nights, at the DIY nights. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't do tarot at all, but I'm just saying like maybe you're making like bead bracelets and you're like sell them for $1 each. You know, you sell them at break even just because you want to be involved in some way, just so people know your face and like follow you on Instagram and stuff, so they know who you are and they, you know, somewhat trust you and think, oh, you're pretty cool. Or you know, if you want to do like the internet route, like you're making music and you pay real close attention to your Spotify stats and stuff, like, okay, where am I bubbling up and stuff like that? Who's really connecting my music? Or if you're doing marketing for your Spotify stuff, market particularly in your city, you know what I mean? But like, you have to build a local audience. And however you do that, whatever works for you, but like, yeah. But Logan says I'm multitasking while watching the stream like a podcast. Yeah, I feel it. Shopify's open source Liquid framework and skeleton theme that sent me down a rabbit hole deeper than the core of the earth. Oh yeah, dude. Shopify's Liquid is really wild. Yeah, you're about to enter a whole new little thing, because Fourth Wall is kind of goofy, but I was trying to say Shopify is also a little goofy. Oh, I heard the Ghidorah yell and I was like, oh, was that the stream? It was a song somehow. Cool. Yeah, I need two. But Rosa says, also get to know who your audience is going to be. Oh, also get to know who your audience is. Going from being a model to a DJ sounds different to me, not gonna lie. Yeah, Roses, that's another thing. Your exact point, Roses. The audience you curate to is also very important. Because I know I've been saying like, you know, make like jewelry or bead things at the show or something. That kind of works because it's still people who like to go to live events that you're starting to interact with. But to Rosa's point, like, that's why it gets a little bit harder if you're doing digital stuff, because if people like you because, I don't know, you're a streamer, doesn't necessarily mean they like to go outside their house, hang out. You know what I mean? So, but once you get a big enough, if you were to go like the route of the model, you know what I mean? Like, or this one particular example, there's going to be a subset of people who like fashion who also like to go to shows. but it's just the percentages get lower and lower and lower the more niche you get. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? But Rosa makes a really good point, and that's why I was kind of like, try to do something in your local scene first. Anyways, but Logan says VS Code hours are going quadruple digits. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. And if I may, Prince Motorola, that's where you did a good job. Prince Motorola actually started doing like a little like vending like their fashion brand at the show, so people know who Prince Motorola is. You know what I mean? Because of that. So he has a little bit of like people that he can contact a DJ that he knows. Oh, you know, they would probably come to my show because we've hung out so much and like we're pretty cool friends. You know what I mean? And that you shouldn't. And so the other part is you shouldn't also depend on like your friends to be the consistent people to show up to your shows, because friends are going to show up because they just like you. But you want people who like really, really are passionate about the things that you're doing to be the ones that like what's it called? They're going to show up. So like trying to guilt your friends to come into your shows and stuff isn't going to work out long term. But it's about like, your friends are going to help like spread the word and stuff like that. And that's really what they're there for, to like help you get things off the ground. But you shouldn't depend on them to keep the plane flying. Does that make sense? Like your friends are going to be like your takeoff crew, but like once you're in the air, it's all up to you, and it should be that way by design. Like that's what you should expect. So yeah. Anyways, Triple Face says, "All right, I gotta go help my grandma with some." Oh, that's adorable. We're having burritos. Enjoy the burritos, dude. Have an awesome time, and I may be back soon. Have fun, y'all. Have fun making burritos. Shrimp buffet. I hope they're shrimp burritos. That'd be sick. Logan says very true, and Shrimp buffet, enjoy the burritos. Hell yeah. But I hope that makes sense too. So like, even though you're building all these friends in this audience, local audience, let's say, you can't depend on them to show up to every show, but you want them, you'll at least have someone to like, kind of like help you get the word out there when your show does start amongst other people who like shows and stuff. Anyways. So try to build a thing and like actually have it make legs. And even when you start building this thing, you're doing stuff locally. I wouldn't even start throwing the show until you're doing it for at least a year or two. At least 2 to 2 years, I would say. Maybe a year. But I would try so many other things first. Like I would try, I don't know. Again, if you make a bunch of artist friends, try being like, yo man, let me be involved with like doing releases, or like, hey man, like I want to start a label. Is there anything I can I make CDs for your band? Can I do this for your band? Can I X, Y, and Z? Like I would try to do so many other things first before doing the show, of just like, getting the use into the motions of like music business, if that makes sense. So yeah. Before you start doing like shows and stuff. And I thought you had to like make, even if you're doing shows, who cares about the business, man? I'm doing it for fun. At the end of the day, like you're still exchanging value if you're doing a show. Like a venue's not gonna let you use the venue for free. So you still kind of have to like, in some ways, be ready for that. Does that make sense? But Alan Seller says, but dude was in such a good mood today, gave a random, whoa, what? Alan Seller, I think your first part of your message didn't come through. But dude, unless you're saying, but dude, I was in such a good mood today, gave a random kid walking 2 free skateboards that I didn't have any use for. Oh, that's so sweet of you, dude, hell yeah. Alan Seller, he was like, wait, why? And I said, I'm moving, no use for me anymore. Skating's a good hobby. And he said, oh, sweet, thanks, man. Oh, hell yeah, Alan Seller. See, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Blessing the community, man, hell yeah. That's sick, Helen Seller. Yeah, I've done it a couple times where I've like just given boards out of the way. Logan says, yeah, like if you're running a clothing brand and make music, you can have a pop-up shop at your shows too. Just don't have the prices like Forrest Frank. This man makes you pay $100 for TDF print. That's wild that he charges that. But yeah, exactly. Like Logan makes a good point. Like just have something like a pop-up shop or something, or like flea markets are in a good spot. Like if you were about to throw a show and you have like, I don't know, like a clothing thing, go to the flea market first. Meet a bunch of people at the flea market, like in person, and pass out like, I don't know, like a QR code that's like, hey man, I'm gonna start throwing shows. Can I get your email so when the show happens, I can tell you about it. Or like, oh, give me a follow because I know you live around here, so that way when I throw my show eventually, like you can pull it. You know what I mean? Not that you have to be so transactional like that, but like, just get to know your community, man. Because like those people are gonna be pulling up on a Saturday night when they got nothing else going on. You know what I mean? And then Helen Seller says, bro, reminded me of when I was walking home, wish I had a bike or something, Yeah, I feel that, dude. Yeah, Helen Seller. Yeah, that's super sick of you, dude. I'd be so stoked if I was that kid. I'd be like, oh hell yeah. But Alan Seller, he was like, wait, why I said I'm moving? No, okay, no, I'm sorry. But Saku says, oh word, damn Groovy, can I help make CDs or run flyers? Can I know that's kind of ironic for me to say like, yo, help your local artists, because I tend to be the type of guy that's like, no, I must pay you if I'm gonna get your help. That's something I'm trying to get over. But like, keep it real. There's a band out here that I've been like really good buddies with, and my buddy Newport's kind of doing it perfectly. Where like one of his coworkers, she started like a goth band with her husband. And he's been doing visuals for them. And like now he's, my buddy Newport's kind of crushing it right now in terms of like if he wanted to do his own show again, you know what I mean? But it'd be something like that, because like they're kind of like, they kind of need the help. Like they even hit me up the other day, like, oh, how about I make CDs and stuff? Like there's, but if you were involved with them, like, what I'm trying to say? Like I know I'm maybe not the best example of like someone to reach out to help out, but like I have lots of friends that like, yeah, if you hit them up, they would have been like, oh, fuck yeah, you want to make CD? Hell yeah. You know what I mean? Helen's I'm sorry, I'm like jumping around. Logan says Christian artists merch prices don't look Look. Oh man, that's funny, Logan. Yeah, no, I'm sorry to laugh so hard at that. Yeah, no, you are spitting though, Logan. Logan says Christian artists merch prices don't look like Jesus paid for it all. Yeah. But yeah. It's Chemical. Hey man, I haven't seen your Monster Tape Zero ads for ages. I gotta pick up the vinyl soon. It's so sick, man. Good stuff. Hey, thank you. It's Chemical. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, dude. Yeah, whenever you feel like, I appreciate you checking them out. And if you're ready, yeah, I have like a ton of vinyl. So I'd be stoked to sign it and ship it over to you, dude. Whenever you're ready. No rush. I'm chilling. But yeah, dude, thank you. And Prince Merlo says, I need to be a character more known in the area than I'm too much of a side character right now. No, that's fine though. I mean, like, honestly, it's like you're taking steps. Like it's not just like one, like it's not gonna be just like one day, like boom, now today's the day. But like the more you network, because like again, like I wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't beat yourself up, Prince Merlo, because it's like again, if we're doing the Breath of the Wild analogy, you probably beat the first one or two divine beasts. You know what I mean? Like you're already like about halfway through the game. Doesn't mean you're any less good at the game. You just you got a little bit. You just got a couple more beasts to fight, and then you'll be good to go. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't beat yourself up just because you weren't like already at the final boss. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with not being at the final boss yet. But Logan says, the principal of my school found out they were on a record label because I was on a call with my dad. And he told me he taught Alex Salvador back in before he found Eyeball Records. Oh, that's wild, dude. That's cool. The principal's like, like being like, oh shit, what's up? Oh shit, what up? Will this fit? I hope so. Oh, roses, what amazing analogy. The puzzle segments are figuring things out before the fight, and that's okay. Exactly, Roses, exactly. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It's okay to be still beat the puzzle segments. It's okay to be still figuring it out. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's so good. But Eli, good to see you. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And Prince Merlo says, in Pokemon terms, I have half my badges. Yes, exactly. Like, yeah, half your badges so far. You know what I mean? You still got to do the whole like big Team Rocket fight and stuff like that. But hey, you're almost ready for the Elite Four. You're getting there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't beat yourself up about it. You're still a respectable Pokemon trainer, dude. Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? But yeah. But that's the point I'm trying to get at. Is like, make sure like, get your gym badges. It's okay. And I'm not saying that you just like, you just kind of like, well, it's only been 1 year or so. But like, like, and you won't ever really know when the time is right to like start the show. But I just know so many people that are just like, oh, I need to throw a show right now because it's going to help me do blank, blank, blank. And it's just going to work out. It's going to be awesome. And I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. It probably won't. You know what I mean? Not to be rude, but like, you gotta get your gym badges first. You know what I mean? So yeah. And how you get those gym badges is, everyone has their own path to getting their own gym badges. But if you don't have that audience already, then it's like you're fighting an uphill battle. So yeah. But Logan says Eyeball Records is the label that signed My Chemical Romance. Oh yeah. Oh dude, that's what's up. Yeah, that's a wild signing. But Logan says they're mid. To be honest, but I'm not emo to be fair. No, I feel it. To each their own. I like some of the My Chemical Romance songs. You know what I mean? But I get it. You know, not for everybody. And X Chemical, what's your favorite song off of Monster Tape Zero? So my personal favorite is Moments of Magic. Every time it comes on, like just because it's so weird. And I really like the fact that it says you groove. So it's supposed to say you move me every time, but the fact I changed it to say you groove me every time is like, oh, yes, I love sampling. Excuse me. So yeah. But Eli says, I like that analogy. Life is a journey. Skills will be mastered, and you won't reach mastery immediately. Exactly, Eli. You know what I mean? And that's when it comes. And I guess I know we're going deep in the analogy lore, but really all this analogy is really trying to say is just like, dude, like build a local audience, and it's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take a lot of like talking to different people, trying a lot of different things. You're gonna feel like you're the, you know, keeping it real. You're gonna feel like you're the side character for a little bit, but and that's okay because that's just part of what's going on. You know what I mean? But at some point, it's gonna be like, okay, you know, it's time. Like I know this person, I know that person. I know enough bands in town that it's kind of gonna come to like I could, you know, I know enough bands that I can trust to show up to my show and put on a good time and actually like help me promote it and stuff like that. I know my girlfriend and all her friends are gonna come. I know my mom might show up, like dead ass for real. Maybe my mom's gonna show up. You know what I mean? If I were to throw a show, I know I know I have this one friend that's like maybe somewhat popular. Maybe he'll repost it on his story. I mean, so I thought once you know, like, okay, I could get a little bit of buzz going locally just based off my friends and what I'm doing. I know there's an audience for it in my town, because that's another thing too. If you're really passionate about, I don't know, like Mongolian throat singing, I just made that up right now, and there's not really like a Mongolian throat singing, it's gonna be really hard to get people to come to your show. But that being said, like, if for example, like another good example is I don't know the whole story, so Zaku could probably tell me if I'm wrong, but like the Tune in Tokyo show, the way it started was the guy who worked at like an anime store, the OG guy, R.I.P. He worked at an anime store where just people like watch people come in who were like, as anime grew in LA, like literally anime in popularity grew, he just kept seeing people over and over, like, hey, I'm throwing the show on, whatever, like come by, you know what I mean? Just because he happened to work in the anime industry when he wanted to do like a Japanese, like it kind of worked out because he knew so many people and he became such a face among so many people. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the homie show, you know what I mean? So once you have like a people know who you are, they trust you, they think you're cool, you know what I mean? Not that you have to be cool, but like people just know, like, oh, that's the homie. You know what I mean? They don't have to be like your best friend. They don't think you're like the coolest guy in the world. Just you have a bunch of acquaintances. You know what I mean? And then you have some really close friends that are willing to like really help you be a part of it. Then it's probably about that time. So yeah. Rampage says weird is good. Lol. Hey, good to see you, Rampage. How you doing? Rose says hell yeah. And then Logan, I think, is talking to It's Chemical. And yeah. And then Kyle says, do you plan on doing shows in New Jersey area? Hey, thanks for stopping by, Kyle. It's good to see you. I'm sorry, I was like reading chat. I was like trying to like do the chat math in my brain. But thanks for asking, dude. So Kyle, yeah, I mean, I do at some point, but keeping it real, I just don't I don't have any money right now, Kyle. Like, I haven't gotten any like offers to play shows. I've been kind of like waiting for the right offer to come in. But honestly, I maybe get I don't get any offers, I'll be honest. Like, I only got, literally in the last I think 9 months, I've gotten one offer from somewhere. So I just really haven't gotten any offers out that way, Kyle. But if I were to get one, and it made sense, dude, I'd be so stoked to play in a show in the New Jersey area, though. And I'd be so stoked to play a show in the New Jersey area. So yeah, thanks for asking, Kyle. But hopefully one of these days, I would be stoked too. But I hope you're having a good Tuesday, dude. Sorry I'm fumbling my words. I'm like jumping back and forth between doing so many things. Oh yeah, let me, here we go. Logan says, the way you edited the lyrics of that sample reminded me of Kanye's I'll Erase Away into I'll Be Late for That. Oh, that's sick, dude. Oh, thank you, Kyle. Wait, no, that's not good. Logan said that. Thank you, Logan. I appreciate it. And Kyle says, I'm rooting for you, brother. Hey, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate the support, man. It means a lot, for real. Yeah, so, hopefully one of these days, because I'm trying to play some shows. I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Logan says you should do a show in Miami. Trust my $5 from like 3 streams ago will totally pay for all of it. Trust. No, that's another place I'd really be stoked to play. Yeah, because it seems I don't know. I have like in Shopify, you can actually like see like a map. There's like a Shopify app, so you can see a map of like where your orders are going. And there is a little bit of like a hotspot in Florida, dude. I'm trying to hit up Florida at some point. Figure that out one day. It'd be super sick. But yeah, okay. So I know this is like super disjointed. I'm sorry, whoever future friend is watching this whole VOD on ×2. But so we established: do a show for the right reason. Don't do it for money. Don't do whatever. Build an audience by being in your local scene, or even if you want to do like the more broad digital route, just make sure you're marketing in a local area, because local marketing is really what counts here. And you'll probably know it's about time when you're actually, after you've been doing it like locally for about 2 years, people know your name, you know some friends who would be able to either DJ or be bands on the bill or to help you with blank X, Y, and Z, when you have enough friends that can help you, that you can actually trust to help you. And you have, I don't know, at least like, if you're doing like a small, like, and start small for the show, but even at least some people that you know would be willing to just show up for the first one at least. And you know that there's a scene, what the show you're trying to run, there's actually a scene for it. Like there's people who are gonna come just because they like, not just because a bit of because they like you, but also just because they like the thing that you're doing. So like, if you're like, I'm super into like Daria core, maybe you'll be the first Daria core in the US, but it'd be a lot harder to pull off, you know what I mean? But if you're like, I'm gonna throw a goth show, then it's been a little bit easier. Or if like, you know, there's already a city pop scene in your city, then maybe you could try it, you know what I mean? But like, you know, there's gonna be people who are gonna like look forward to it when they get off of work after they're tired as hell, you know what I mean? Like, regardless of the fact that you're the guy running it, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to, again, guilt your friends into coming to every show, because it's not gonna work. So yeah, so now we're at the part where here's how you actually run the show. Now that you've established all those things. Oh, and okay, we can talk about how we're doing. Anyways, Logan says the Flow Rider reference was simultaneously tough and cringe. I know, I'm sorry, Logan. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I think of Florida, I always think of Flow Rider for some reason. But Eli says, when I was in my hometown for Christmas, I came to watch my friend perform at a bar. He was really small, and I saw a surprise little people showed up. But I'm so proud because he's actually forming. Yeah, exactly, Eli. Yeah. So that's the thing, is I bet your friend killed it too, but it is so bonkersly hard to get people to come to a show, Eli, and that's kind of like why I'm doing so, like, yeah. So to your point, that's cool that you got to see your friend. But that's why I'm rambling about this show thing, because I have a lot of friends that also want to run shows, and like, you know, they get really bummed when like people don't show up, and I'm like, because this is like literally like it's trying to fight Ganon right when you start Breath of the Wild. It's like the hardest thing to do is to run a show. Out of whether you're a musician, YouTuber, doesn't matter what thing you create, show is like the final boss. It is so hard. So yeah. In fact, let me do it like this. This is really what I should be doing. So yeah. So now we can actually talk about throwing the show. Okay. So now we got to find a venue. So if you've been doing the thing I've been telling you, you've been going to lots of venues already. And honestly, the easiest way to get booked at a venue, don't just be like, oh, like, you know, this venue, like, so I guess the number one resource is, I guess where to start is you go to indieonthemove.com. So like indie, like I'm independent, INDIE, on the move. So ONTHEMOVE.com, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a website with a database of all these like independent venues that you can reach out to. Now, before you even reach out to one, you need to go to the venue. And if you're like, I want to run a show, but I don't feel like going to the venue, well then why are you trying to throw it, bro? Bro, you need to go to at least like, I would say 3 or 4 different shows. And one, because the venue owner is not going to take you seriously. I mean, they might. If you're trying to throw a show and you've never been to the venue, they might. But you have to have a humongous ardent, like, yo, this is my friend, he has 1 million monthly listeners, can we play your small bar? It's the only way they're gonna take you seriously. If you have never been to the venue. But also too, don't go to the venue and like, you know what I mean, don't try to throw a show at a venue you've never been to, because what if it sucks, dude? What if the venue isn't as cool as it looked in the pictures? You're gonna pull up and then be like, damn, this venue sucks, but now I gotta deal with it. And then everyone's gonna have a bad time because you didn't know the venue sucked. You know what I mean? So you have to go and scope out the venue first before you even try to do anything like that. So yeah. Is this big enough? Yeah, it is. Is it? Oh yeah, we're good. But I'll put some color up on that. But Logan says throwing a show at like 10 followers is like trying to get on Billboard with records of 233 streams. Yeah, exactly. You want to have the audience, Logan. To be fair though, I wouldn't necessarily look at the number of, so to your point is correct, but I wouldn't necessarily look at the number of followers. I would more look at like the location, because you can be a banging show promoter with like 500 followers, but if all 500 are in your local scene and it's all people who like going to shows, you probably do better than lots of artists that come by to town because you just happen to know people locally. You know what I mean? Because your audience of people, again, whether it's real life friends or it's an actual like audience of people, they all happen to live near you, so the show's gonna work out. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to judge when it's time, but yeah, when it's time, you'll kind of know. I mean, you won't kind of know, but you kind of have to take that leap of faith at some point. But yeah, anyways. But if you've been listening to this, you've been taking notes, I think you'll have a pretty good understanding of what I'm trying to say. Hopefully. That'd be rambling. But cool. So yeah, so we're all looking for a venue. Go to indieonthemove.com. They have a whole database. And then check out some venues that you think might work for your venue. And I would go to at least 2 to 3 shows because you want to really understand what that venue is like. And how they operate and stuff like that. Does the owner pull up? Does he look sketchy? You know what I mean? Like, do people there, is there bathrooms? Because like, I don't know, particularly for me, I make music where a lot of like people who are, furry show up. A lot of like non-binary people show up to my shows and stuff like that. So I look out for things like, is there any like, I don't know, homophobic stuff in the bathrooms? If so, I shouldn't throw a show there. Because I am keeping in mind people who maybe affiliate with this kind of stuff are going to be offended if they come by, you know what I mean? They're going to be hurt to see that messaging, you know what I mean? So like, look for things like that. If I was someone who liked this kind of music or liked this thing, would I feel comfortable in this space? You know what I mean? Not even if you're like, even if you're like some rapper that's like, bro, who cares about stuff? Even if you think that, okay. Well, if your audience is more like, I'm trying to pop bottles with some girls, is it a place to pop bottles with the girls? Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of what's it called? That's the kind of music you're trying to make. If you're trying to make like trap drum, like I'm the coolest guy in the world, well, is it a place with VIP tables? Because if your audience expects VIP tables and they don't provide it, well, then you kind of shot yourself in the foot, right? You know what I mean? So check out the venue multiple times. Make sure it's like a cool place you want to go to. But Eli says it's so important to recognize the final bosses for our passions in life. As a storyteller and visual artist, and my final boss is getting the comic finished. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's all kinds of different final bosses, dude, that we're gonna have to all come across for sure. And but yeah, dude, I'm excited for you to get your comic finished, Eli. And Logan says, W Groovy Kaiju, W Speed reference, hell yeah. Thank you. And Rosa says, being mindful of state of environments, that's sweet. Thank you, yeah. I appreciate it, Rosa. But that's kind of like, the mindset you want to have to do shows, because like, you know what I mean, if you're not thinking about stuff like that, you probably shouldn't throw a show, because your brain isn't there yet. And not to say like you're dumb, but like, that's the mindset. I don't know, like I've worked many jobs in my life. You kind of have to rewire your brain to do a good job at certain things. And like, this is one of them you gotta have. You have to be looking for, is this a safe environment? Will people have a fun time here? I mean, those are all those things. It is sweet though, but thank you, Roses. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like there was like a very important element to that. So yeah. Pack of Newport says, real ones know that Torch 2424 is actually Groovy Kaiju. Ain't gonna see you at Newport's. And oh yeah. How you doing? How's your Tuesday going, Newport? But yeah. So, go to the venue a few times, and if you go there like, at least 2 or 3 times for 2 to 3 different shows, and you're like, oh, this place is pretty cool. Bartenders aren't mean. If it's a show that's 21, that you want 21 plus, bartenders aren't mean. Then you know what? Send that email. And then the better thing even too, you need to talk to one of the bartenders or someone who works there and go, hey, I want to throw a show here. I haven't, I feel like I could do a pretty good job at like filling up this room with like an event that I want to run. What's it called? Who should I talk to get a hold of? You know what I mean? And probably you want to hit up like, find your one venue, hit them up, and you start that process. But the bartender's gonna know better, because sometimes you'll look online and they'll be like, hey, contact us at booking at whatever to like get your show booked or whatever, if they even have that. And sometimes they'll find out, yeah, you know what, actually, email booking, but CC Josh. He's the guy that actually does the promotion, so email him directly. Because the bartenders will love to give you the direct email because they've seen your face, they know who you are now, they know, oh, this guy's actually pretty cool. So when your email comes in, they're not just like, who the fuck's this guy? Delete. They're like, oh, that's the one guy that's been coming by a lot this month. Oh yeah, he's pretty cool. All right, let's actually read it. You know what I mean? Because again, if you want to do an in-person event, it's about in-person connection. It's about in-person networking. The emails are important, but like if they know you, you've instantly jump 10 billion steps above every other email they're getting, you know what I mean? Logan says real ones know if Aviscerall is actually Groovy Kaiju. Spitting. And Newport says rough but we prevail. Oh yeah, dude. But let me check this thing that I'm sending Michaela real quick, her artist copies. Yep. Cool. Sick. So yeah. So now we found our venue, right? Actually, keeping it real, what's probably gonna happen is that again, you might have to email them like a few times. It's not because they don't care. It's because genuinely, like they're probably just mega busy. Venues get hit up all the time from all kinds of people, and a lot of venue owners tend to be like they're musicians. They like music. You know, they like music. They like drinking. That's why they run a venue. So like, but you're kind of gonna be working with people that are like, you know, they're not maybe the most like email-y type, but they have to work through email, so that's kind of just like a necessary evil for them, if that makes sense. So they're probably gonna be like, yeah, sure, whatever, you know what I mean? Or they might take a while to get back to you. But usually once they say yes, then they're a lot more tentative because they put you on their calendar and now there's a relationship, right? So yeah. So if the first venue you really want doesn't get back to you, and like I would say email them a few times, maybe like once a week over like a 4-week period. And if you're still not getting a response, okay, now go to the second venue. And now you're like, damn, dude, it's only been a month and yeah. The shows are not for the weak, dude. You are finding Ganondorf, dude. You know what I mean? This shit is not a game. This is the final boss. So then you try the second venue. Hopefully the first venue works out. It's not usually that tough, but like, you know what I mean? Like keeping it real with my show, took me forever to get a hold of the first venue. Got a hold of them, got on the calendar, and the venue announced they shut down. So I was like, bruh. You know what I mean? So I had to start all the way back from step one again. You know, it was crazy. Logan said, Xfinity pissed me off so much because they blocked my domain. Damn, because I had a link shortener for my music and now all my custom banners from my store don't load. Oh, dang, that's a bummer. I'm sorry, Logan, yeah. Yeah, internet server files are wild. But TR says, here's something you guys should know. I used to do a podcast, and when I first started, I emailed 184 people, and all 184 people said no. Exactly, yeah. Because, dude, reaching out to like these established businesses to help, dude, it is so hard. And then Tiara says, and didn't get back to me, so then I made a video about one of the guests and convinced them to go on my show, and then I emailed all 183 people and told them I had one guest and then 3 more people. Yeah, exactly. It is, getting that yes is hard. Roses, 184 rejected, that's insane. Yeah, you are fighting Ganondorf. You know what I mean? This is like, you're in Ganondorf territory when you're doing a show. Or anything that involves like, you know, to Tira's point, like anything involving like a second party, you are fighting Ganondorf, you know what I mean? Tira says, get speedrun, getting rejected. Exactly, yeah. And Newport says, oh, I think I know a venue that is. Yeah, I think, it's no fault of them. It was all like, they're super cool. So this is plus them if they're still open by any chance. But it was the Airliner in LA. We were gonna start Crystal there. It was a lot smaller of a venue, but then like they shut down. Literally, we got the yes. We were like, all right, cool. Started making the flyer and stuff. Boom, got shut down. It was like, no, we have to start over. It was so defeating, dude. Logan says, yeah. They don't claim it. Yeah, good luck, Logan. That's gonna be rough with GoDaddy and the venue and stuff. Oh, Packer Newport says, oh, different venue. I was thinking of Thundercat. Lol. Oh, see, that's the thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, Newport. So Newport's mentioning there was a venue that closed in Phoenix that was supposed to play a show at. That just shut down suddenly. This is the second time. Thundercat was the second time that happened to me. So when I say it's gonna be hard to find the venue, literally it happened to me twice. You know what I mean? There's one specific story. So yeah. And roses, like, it's kind of like how getting a job is like nowadays too. I saw a video of someone submitting their portfolio for over 100 jobs and only one hired them. Exactly, roses. Trying to find a venue is like applying for a job, or it's gonna be tough. Oh, I'm sorry, Logan. The message didn't send. But cool. I gotta print this out. So yeah, so cool. Now we're at the step of you've gone to a bunch of venues, you're getting rejected, and then finally, let's say at least one of them finally says yes. Now, also another thing to point out too, use any of them move, you can sort by genre, zip code radius, and capacity. Honestly, if I were you, I would go, if this is your first show, go as small as possible. Then, you might be able to find a venue that's like 50, but like your normal bar is about 100. So you kind of pretty much, if you're on the hook for getting 100 people, and at most venues, unless you can prove that you've run shows before, they're probably going to give you like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or like a Sunday. Honestly, in ranks in terms of day of the week, Monday and I think Tuesday are the worst. Wednesday is meh. Thursday is okay. People show up to the Thursday shows. Friday, Saturday is of course the best. Friday is second best, and Sunday is low key, debatably slightly better than Thursday. But in terms of days of the week, but if you are just, again, if you did this whole thing of like, I'm starting from day zero, I did the bead thing at the local venue scene stuff, you're probably going to get a Wednesday. And to keep it real, the bar is not going to be tripping if you pull, only like 15 or 20 people to a 50 venue or 50 cap venue. Again, this is like, shows are so hard. Just always assume worst case scenario. I'm not going to lie to you. Not that I'm trying to talk down to you, but like always assume worst case scenario because shows are so hard. So if you bring like 20 people on a Wednesday or like on a Tuesday, let's say, honestly, that's kind of good for a 50 cap venue. They might let you upgrade to a Wednesday or a Thursday if you ask them if the first one, even though if it's not too hot, they're going to understand, oh yeah, Mondays and Tuesdays suck. But if people were nice, they didn't cause a problem.
New merch order from George.
Thank you, George. I appreciate the kind words. I mean, I'm kind words. Oh my God. Thank you for the order, George. If you're watching, let me know. I'll pack your order right now. Oh, and Tiara says, Indiana move is epic. Hell yeah. And Tiara says, also, if you're doing anything outdoors, you do need to have an indoor contingency plan or just don't do it. Except if you're in LA or something. Yeah, because Tiara's making a good point. I've always done shows in LA where like the weather's always kind of good. If you're doing something outdoors, I guess what I assume you're talking about, Tiara, is that like if weather gets bad, you want to make sure there's some option for the show to still happen indoors, or else your show is just ruined by weather, which is something you also need to consider, because if it rains on the day of your show, whether it's indoors or not, it's just going to make things harder. So just something to keep in mind too. Also, like the season and stuff, like if you can't really predict the weather, but like try your best. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and TR Tastemaker says yeah for the weather thing. Okay, sick. Logan says my message didn't send. I renamed my OC label from Logan to All Media. Oh, sick. Because the media company and typo. All Media. Oh, that is super smart because your last name. But I'm waiting for Al. That's sick though. Hell yeah, Logan. Waiting for al.media to expire. Oh hell yeah, that'd be super dope. I like that name, Logan. But yeah. So we're talking about, so pretty much try to get a 50 or 100 cap venue. Again, always assume worst case scenario, and they're probably going to try to stick you on like a Monday or Tuesday. But if you have a pretty local scene, you got an Instagram following, and you can prove to them, hey, look, here's me at this show, here's me with this band, and this is where you flex as hard as you can. Flex, don't lie, but flex as hard as you can, because if it's your first show, you want the Thursday or a Sunday. Because that is going to really do a lot, leaps and bounds in helping you out and seeing what your actual draw is for your first show. And if you're lucky, if you have the friend that has like 300K monthly listeners, or you have the friend that like sold out, open for this big band last week or something, flex it, dude. Flex your friends as hard as you can, because you know what I mean? I wouldn't say go straight for a Saturday, because you also don't want to talk a big game and then 20 people show up to the venue on a Saturday. They're going to be then pissed, and you'll kind of, they're not going to like cross you out, but they're going to be like, let's push you to a Monday. It's a lot better to be promoted than it is to be demoted. You know what I'm saying? So I would say shoot for like a good Thursday show. Again, go 50 to 100 cap. And yeah, Logan says, thank you, Uncle Groovy. You're welcome, Logan. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. So look for a smaller venue. Shoot for a Thursday or a Sunday. Flex as hard as you can in that email and your communication so you get the Thursday or Sunday. And if you have a big friend, because you're technically like the booker and the promoter, who knows how good your friend is at promoting their own shows, like, because sometimes your friends like to walk around with their chests all puffed out, bro, I sold out my show. And you find out behind the scenes they kind of like had a marketing guy for them, or it was low-key the smaller band that like did better, so you know what I mean? So like, if you're the one promoting the show, you kind of, and it's your money that's put on the line, like you kind of want to make sure all your T's and I's are dotted. So I would still, I don't know if it's your first show. I don't know, for keeping it real, I think I've done lots of like Wednesday shows and stuff. The first one I did myself, I think I was shooting for what's it called? I don't know, my situation with Crystal was a little interesting where I got a Saturday my first shot, but I also had a buddy of mine who literally had like 900K monthly listeners with me. And then I had all of the you know, and then on top of that, I had all the proof of like, look at all the people who bought merch within like a 20-mile radius of your venue. And they were kind of like, oh, damn. You know what I mean? But even then, I think I sold them on like I think we can pull like 200. And they were like, all right, cool. And the venue was 250. So, you know what I mean? But if things didn't work out, they probably would have been like, we're bumping you down to like a Thursday or a Friday. You know what I mean? But either way, shoot for Thursday. Thursday, Sunday is very respectable. If they give you Thursday, Sunday. Yeah. And then another thing is too, Almedia reminds me of InternNet. Yeah, totally. I feel that, Logan. But another thing is too, is venue splits. So here's another important thing. How the venue's going to pay you is kind of like crazy, because if it's like a super small bar, they're going to pay you based on a cut of the bar. So how much they make on drinks. And that's if you're doing like a 21 plus show. If you like, so I guess here's another like thing. If you're doing music and you're like, I want to be all ages because I'm really passionate about all ages venues. Well, the thing about all ages venues is that they require a lot more security, because it's like there's going to be children there. So they need like twice the security guards. They need to make sure no one's like drinking underage, so on and so forth. So because of that, they take a bigger cut out of the chunk. So unless you're making like kids bop music, dead ass, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't go all ages unless you were like, I cannot sleep at night unless I do an all ages venue. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're like beyond passionate, or the music makes sense that it has to be for like middle school people, you want to go 21 plus, because then the money just comes, you have so much more wiggle room in the money for things to work out. Like a good example is like, all ages venue will probably ask for like a 50-50 split, so 50 you, 50 them. But like a 21 plus venue will probably give you 70 you, 30% them. You know what I mean? Because you're the one filling up their bar. Unless it's like a bar with like a built-in crowd where it's like on the strip or something and people show up anyways. But you know what I'm trying to say. So only go all ages if you absolutely have to, or you're like, morally, I cannot play I can't play a not all ages venues for some reason. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. So you're gonna negotiate rates with the venue. 70-30 is pretty good. Or if there is no tickets, so when I say 70-30 and 50-50, I mean like on a ticket split. So like if you were to sell tickets, they want 50% of the tickets, you get 50 or whatever. But if there is no tickets, it's like an outdoor venue where it's just like drinking and stuff, and they have a little stage outdoors, then it tends to be a percentage of bar sales. And that's just pretty much like how much people drink, which is also kind of like another thing. Because if you're doing like, I think the title is niche internet music. Like niche internet music, is a lot of us are younger and we don't really drink like that. So you're kind of like shooting yourself in the foot again. But that's like, this is a larger industry problem. And that a lot of like music shows kind of are dependent on alcohol sales, which isn't like, personally, I don't think it's like the most healthy thing. And like now that alcohol sales are kind of dipping in general and people don't drink as much, it's kind of like, what are they going to do? I don't know. That's the industry's problem to figure out. But in terms of us, if you're doing this again because you want to do a community thing, then just know that when you do a bar split like that, it's really dependent on your audience to show you how much money you're going to get. And you kind of have to trust the venue, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? But I like tickets more because then we get into like the ethics of like, okay, we're going to have all your friends come play the show. You probably want to pay them. It would be kind of rude to not pay them. And ideally, you don't want to just keep burning your own money on the show. Like and I know I was talking a big game about do this for the community. And yes, you should. but if you gotta do it for a community in a way that makes sense. Because yeah, you can like shoot yourself in the foot and it's like, oh my god, I'm so great, I've helped so many people, but like at the end of the day, like if it's not like sustainable, then like it's just gonna be a thing that happened that one year, you know what I mean, or that one time. Because like after a while, at some point, you're gonna be like, look, I just can't keep burning my money, whether it be because you, I don't know, you know, you want it to like outlive you. Not that, I mean, not, oh my god, not outlive you, you know what I'm trying to say. Logan says, go to an all ages venue if you're not 21 plus. Yeah, so if you aren't 21 plus, but even then, I bet they would want you to be 21 plus to just like, what's it called? To even just sign an agreement with the venue. Or if you have a fan base of like 16-year-olds, or if you're Coco Melon, yeah. Coco Melon! That's comedy. But Logan says, cry for me by Iron Mouse reference, but when you said wah wah wah. Okay, that was the corniest thing. Yeah, no worries, Logan. Rosa says lol. And the lyrics. Yeah. No, I feel it, Logan. But yeah, yeah, so we're talking about that. What's after the venue thing? So I guess at this point, it sounds like we're kind of like at the venue and like we kind of like figured it out and stuff. And we gotten them to agree, and they're like, cool, yeah, here's the split. The only reason why I'm telling you the splits is because I want you, yeah, we're talking about sustainability, yeah. Because like, hope, you know, if you're gonna do a show, like if you just want to do one show, then yeah, do whatever you want. But like, if you want to like continuously be a showrunner, then you know you kind of have to make, like, you know, you kind of have to make money, even if it's just breaking even. You'd still want it to like make at least some kind of money. Because it's like money isn't a bad thing, you know what I mean? Like it's okay to make money. You know what I mean? Just because it's like the fuel of the engine of a car, you know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to, is that like you're trying to like drive this car for you and all your friends and the community that's around you, and it's just kind of like the thing that needs to be poured in so the car can move, or else, you know what I mean? There's something wrong with wanting to move a car. Like, you know, you are super random pep talk, but you are valid for wanting to drive the car. So you know what I mean? People probably are going to love to be in it after you make it, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like the proof that they like being in it, is the fact that they put in gas money into this car that you're driving, you know what I mean? So anyways, think of it that way. If you have any like hangups about like, no, but like for the community though, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's my answer to that, if it helps. But anyways. So yeah, so we got the venue. Hell yeah. We're all ready to go. We told our friends, we have like, and you know, we got a lineup of people, we got some friends we can hit up. And now we can actually talk about what you need to do to run the show. So the first 2 hours was us rambling. I guess it's all of us hanging out. But now that we're like kind of like more chilling in, we're all like settled in. Now the what's it called? The next hour is gonna be like, here's what you actually do. So step one is, this is something I can never crack the code on, but if you can, what helps a lot, especially if you're doing like a niche internet music show, see if you can find sponsors. See if there's like some local business, like some local anime store that wants to like pop up and like vend there or something. Is like, yeah, we're willing to pay like $100 just to support your idea, if it means we can like, you know, sell our merch there or something, you know what I mean, while you do the show. Something you could try out. Just because like getting other like sponsors involved, or like some way that they can like promote their brand as well at your venue, because like people in person interacting with a brand or a local store or something is like, there's not enough marketing dollars in the world to pay for that. You know what I mean? That's why like, you know, baseball companies get so much money to just show their thing on top of a baseball game, because like it's people in person interacting with the thing, you know what I mean? I don't know. So but the key note about sponsors is that they tend to be one-time activations. Like people, when they have like event budgets, it's like they want to run one event. They don't want to like subscribe to being a sponsor to your show usually. So just throwing that out there. So if you do have a show and you happen to know someone that could sponsor, always reach out and tap them, but like don't expect it to be a long-term thing. But it's a good way to like, you know, get a little extra money to maybe pay the artist a little bit more, or save it for the next show, you know what I mean? Whatever you gotta do to make sure that, again, this car keeps driving. You know what I mean? Like if you get a sponsor, maybe you get to fly out your friend from another city this time around. Because, you know, it would be a whole event to be like, oh, come see the guy that one of my best friends in Detroit that happens to have, you know, 1 billion monthly listeners or something. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. Thanks to the sponsor. I don't know. So yeah. Try to get a sponsor if you can. I mean, but again, don't stress about it because it's going to be only it's like kind of like falling in your lap. Otherwise, I wouldn't chase it down because it's really tough. Then, okay. So you need a. So what I did for my show is that we had someone run. I call them floaters. So like, what if you have to go to the bathroom, something like that? Like, pretty much make sure your best friend can come in case you have to go to the bathroom or like something happens and someone needs to be like in charge. Like, doesn't necessarily have a job. It's really random. You know, if the show is big enough, you're gonna want someone who's like their job is just to put out fires in case someone whose actual job isn't there. Does that make sense? So like, if your job is the guy to like announce the artist, and like that guy happens to be like throwing up in the bathroom for whatever reason. Brian. Oh, thank you, Brian. If you're watching, let me know. I'll pack it for you right now. But yeah, you know, I'm just saying, like, you're the guy who's supposed to announce the new artist, next artist coming up, and he's throwing up for whatever reason. You want a floater that's just like, okay, I'm supposed to fill in, and then okay, cool, now I can go party and hang out. But their job is just to be like the guy that's like, you know what I mean? So get a guy like that. Again, if you started your whole thing off as like, I'm the guy that makes like bead bracelets, you know what I mean? And then now I'm gonna throw my own show. Well, then make someone who can still sell your like bead stuff or your bead bracelets while you're the guy actually running the show. So confirm like a person to run. That way you still get some money on the side too for whatever thing you were doing before you even started doing shows. And then if you can too, you probably need help with like, you know, again, all these people, the merch, you know, you can't I don't know. It was really hard for me to try to be the merch guy and the showrunner and be the floater. Like, you know what I mean? So,
new merch order from Herman.
Thank you, Herman. If you're watching, let me know. I'll pack it right now. But so pretty much, I think the floaters and merch person, you need those people to like help you. And then content creation, that's going to be like things like your flyers, which now have to be like Instagram Reels, so like video editors pretty much that you can hit up, whether it's on Fiverr or it's like a homie or it's you. Just make sure you have that person that's like a role that's going to be there. And then you have to think about the lineup. So most shows are about 4 to 5 hours, like at night. If you're doing like a night show, like a normal like concert. So most people DJ for an hour. You can find some people that will DJ it for up to 2, but you'll probably, so depending on what the genre is and stuff like that, you probably want to at least, you know, have music playing at all times. So either 3 DJs where you each play about an hour and 45, or you get 4 to 5 DJs that all play an hour. So, or if it's a band, maybe you have like 2 to 3 different bands, and you know, then you have to ask them like, can you play for that long? And like, what happens in between? Maybe you do, I don't know, but you have to pretty much have entertainment happening at all times for however long the show is. And usually a show is about 4 to 5 hours. So something needs to fill up all 5 hours. You probably can have some downtime. People just hang out and like have people come back in and out if it's like a rock band or a punk band or punk show or something. But you want to minimize downtime as much as possible, because at the end of the day, people came there to like have a good time with their friends and be entertained. I hate to say it that way, but like kind of low-key, yeah. You know what I mean? And like, if there's nothing going on, they're eventually going to be like, how about we go home? And I know it's like kind of like I got the ticket money. Why do I care? Well, keeping it real, like when you're working with a venue, you're really engaging in like a business relationship with a venue. You have to think about, well, the venue's going to be like, well, bro, I want this room packed 24/7 with the drinks flowing, because that's how I make my money. So the more you show the venue that you're trying your best to also help them make money, the more they're going to be like, we will do whatever you want for you, because we know that you have our best interest in mind. You know what I mean? So you don't want people to leave the show. Not that I'm going to say like, if someone's leaving, you go, you pull them back in, like, no, how dare you? But like, you know what I mean? Just don't, like, make sure it's fun. Make it fun all the time, as much as you can. So yeah. So then confirm a lineup of like what's going to happen at every minute during the thing that people can, even if they're, if they're bored, they can go look at and have some kind of fun. You know what I mean? So then once you have that, then you have to make the flyer. And honestly, the flyer is the most important part of this entire everything. The flyer is ridiculously important. And here's the thing. So remember how earlier I was like, don't do this because you want clout or something? Because the flyer is a real test of whether or not you can take your clout, your ego out of this. Because here's the real thing. Again, it's all going back to, you have to want to do this because you want to serve your community, right? Also, let me know if I'm rambling too much, guys. I feel like I'm on a total just tangent, but oh my god, thank you, Charles. I appreciate you.
Order from
You're too kind. Thank you, Charles, for watching. Let me know. But I think the flyer is the real test of how much you can remove your ego from this, right? Because if you're like, you're gonna be super stoked that you're throwing a show, right? So you're gonna be like, bro, this is my show, ran by me, and here's all my cool ass friends that are playing. We're dope. But at the end of the day, is that really serving your community? Going back to it, like, yeah, you might be friends with all these people, and the first people I might pull up. But again, think about the guy that doesn't know who you are already, that just got off of work, they worked all day at Walmart. They're pissed. I'm like, I'm just trying to have a good time. When they see the flyer, are they gonna go, wow, 4 people I don't actually know? I'm gonna go, yeah. I mean, and again, I'm not trying to like. Okay, Rosa says you're fine. It's been nice hearing about this. Okay, thank you, Roses. I appreciate it. Yeah, because sometimes I'm like, am I just talking to the void? Because I'm just like going off TED Talks. But I think this is the last, I mean, not the last TED Talk, but these are like the 2 biggest TED Talks I kind of wanted to do while for the stream. But yeah, the flyer is a good test. And it's not that I'm trying to like put you down, whoever is watching this, that like, oh, like, you're not as big as you think you are. Like, you probably are big, but just, you know what I mean? But again, it comes back to like, for the show, for the car to keep driving, you need to have it so that not only do your friends put in gas money, but people that are just like, that's a cool Porsche. Here's 5. I just want to see that Porsche driving around. Here's 5. You know what I mean? Like, people just that don't even know who you are stoked. Oh, Tiara says I'm here. Okay, thank you, Tiara. Yeah. Tiara, chip in too, because you have lots of insights on it. If I ever say something that you're like, I don't know about that, Groovy, let me know, because you got lots of insights on this too, if you don't mind me saying. But yeah, but you want to make the flyer that like, you know, it's kind of like, again, going back to like the whole car analogy, like make the flyer so that if someone was just like, bro, I happen to really love Subaru WRXs. I just want to see more Subaru WRXs in the world. When they see your flyer, they go, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Even if they don't know who you or your friends are, it just, yeah, pretty much the promise you're trying to make in the flyer is that you and any of your friends you bring will have a good time because I know you like blank. You know what I'm saying? So like the big part, I mean, you can go to @CrystalNostalgia on okay, Tiara Tastemaker says, you're saying all the right things. Okay, thank you, Tiara, yeah. So if you're watching this, go to, the account should still be up, but it's @CrystalNostalgia on Instagram, or even just Google Crystal Nostalgia Future Funk. I'm sure it'll pop up, but our flyers will pop up. And essentially, what the flyer was, is because our audience was for Future Funk fans, a lot of anime fans and stuff. So what the flyer was I commissioned an anime girl that just looked like she was ready to have a good night out, right? She looked like she was in like her dancing shoes, you know what I mean? Big, just humongous on the Instagram post. Like that was like 50% of the Instagram post was just a picture of an anime girl. What does that say? What am I trying to say with that? You like person holding the phone, you like anime. I caught their attention because you like anime. And then you know, like on like the, you know, when there's like a discount, there's like a star sticker. I'll put a big ass star sticker that said, a fun night of Future Funk anime groove, which is kind of like a music genre term my buddy in San Diego made up, but it's just like anime music, Vaporwave, and something else. I think Y2K bangers. And that was kind of my catch-all. But pretty much it was like, what you see in that flyer wasn't, oh, it's a Groovy Kaiju show with this other big artist that you may or may not have heard of. And it's, you know, like you saw on that show, if you are someone who likes anime and want to have a fun night and you like this music, this is for you. You know what I mean? Without explicitly say, deadass, try a flyer that says that. Deadass, try a flyer that says, if you are an anime fan who likes this kind of music, this show is for you. I bet it would crush. Just big ass bold text that just says that with a link. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Tiara says, if you're making a concert poster for a niche genre, you need to do the design in a way that someone that's never heard of the genre will see, and if I want to go. Exactly, yeah. I agree with Tiara, exactly, pretty much. Yeah, I think to expand on what Tiara's saying too a little bit more is that like, you can't expect everyone to know the same level of knowledge of you in that niche genre too. Like I don't expect all Future Funk fans to know who, Zai Cowan is. And that's not like shade to Zai. I love you, Zai Cowan, if you watch this, but it's no shade to Zai Cowan. It's just like, and some Zai Cowan fans don't know who I am. You know what I mean? So if you put our names on there, they might love our music if they were to go to a show for it, but they might just not know who we are because they just haven't Venn diagrammed us yet. You know what I mean? So you kind of want to make it, to Tiara's point, as vague as possible while still hitting the main points of like, you know, if you didn't know everything there is to know about Vaporwave and Future Funk, but you like anime and you like, you know, fast music, you'll probably love this show, whether or not you know who I am. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, and Tiara says exactly. It's like trying to get everyone to understand an inside joke. Yeah, exactly. You want to make the joke as outside as possible in the flyer. So some people will get it. Most want exactly Tiara. Yeah. So Tiara, you know, chat over here. Tiara's spitting, but but yeah. So just, you know, like really think about who you're. So again, if we're doing I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of Daria Core recently, and Daria Core is like a very like super. It's kind of like Future Funky, but it's like I don't know how to even explain it. It's like kind of like if hyperpop was like just a sample dance genre. You know what I mean? But there's lots of like references of things like Five Nights at Freddy's in there. There's lots of like keeping it real, like yeah. There's if you're a Daria Core producer, I'm so sorry, but there's lots of like furry stuff. So dead ass. There's probably a furry community, or there's probably a big ass FNAF community near, like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's community near you. Whether it's adults, 21 plus, I don't know. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, just think about if it's goth, put a bunch of bats. Just put a giant ass bat with some goth girl on there and be like a sick night of goth music. And then here's the trick was, and actually, I want to give my flowers to Yoi Toki. This one I kind of got from them, but all the important information, you make the cool ass visual, right? And at the very bottom, I just put that's where all the information is. You can still read it, but it's like after you catch their attention, they know it's for them. You put all the info in like a little bottom black bar, or like at the top of the flyer, whatever you want to put, just like some kind of info block. You know what I mean? Just a straight ass, just black background. It's at this venue. Here are the artists performing. So if they are into that, you know, goth stuff, and they're like, because the artist performing is more like a, oh shit, now I gotta go, but it's not going to catch their attention. You know what I'm saying? So then you put like the time, the venue, whatever, and how do they get tickets? You know, those things, whether it's implicit or not, but like, you know, go here to get tickets, yada, yada, yada. You know, so yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so I think on our flyer, again, look at the Crystal Nostalgia flyer. As long as you have all those different elements, you're doing right. And in fact, I don't know if we ever put the how to get tickets, but just put a website link, just or QR code or something on the flyer. You know what I mean? But again, the 99% of the flyer, 80, okay, I guess keeping it real, 80% of the flyer should be the visual thing that gets people to go, this is for me. You know what I mean? Whether it's an anime girl, whether it's like a goth dude, whether it's a robot, whatever giant thing that needs to be on there, whether it's a big cat, I don't know. You know what I mean? Whatever your genre of music is, that people would go and be like, oh yeah, I love big cats, this show is for me. That's what needs to be on the flyer. So yeah. So and yeah, once you're like confident that your flyer hits everything I just told you, then we can move to the next thing. So another role you'll need is someone who's at the door. And for okay, and Tiara says, I guess I'll read it out. Tiara says, basically the very best advice I could possibly give to anyone trying to throw shows is to identify people that are doing the same type of thing that you want to do regardless of where they are. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. And study them. Yeah, because you really, again, it comes back to like, you really, if you're not coming from a place of like really wanting to support a community of people, like you have to really want that and be open to doing that. Because Tiara, you have to study them. You got to like really understand, who am I serving? You know what I mean? And even if you, of course, sometimes you're already going to know, because if you're like been in the goth scene for like a billion years, then you know what a goth fan likes at a goth show. You know what I mean? But it's still worth taking the time to like really be like, you know, double check your assumptions. Like ask your friends, like, what do you think of this of my show? You know, you really want to like, how do you give them the best time ever? So yeah. Tiara also says, in your own way, but the most important thing is identify people that have already been successful. That's what they're trying to achieve. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Tiara. I think you have a lot to learn from people who are successful. Like again, going back to like, I kind of got the idea for the info block thing from Utoki, but I would also challenge that a little bit, Tiara, that I feel like what Lady Gaga does to promote a show is gonna be a lot different than what we do. So I would take notes on what bigger people are doing, but you also have to realize that, like, I mean, it's my opinion, some things are gonna work for like the big local show that you want to be one day, something's gonna work for them that's not gonna work for you, because you kind of have to like go up a ladder of steps to get to start doing their strategies. Because strategies down here are a little bit different, or they can be. Sometimes they are the same, sometimes they're a little different. So, but you learn that from trial and error. But starting from a place of doing the same as what people you look up to do is a good place to start. But I also would keep an open mind that just because it works for them, it might not necessarily mean it'll work for you, just because there's like a difference in like size and scale. But yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah. So next role you'll need at the show, funnily enough. Oh, TR says I agree. Okay, cool. Hell yeah, I'm glad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm counting most of 0 vinyl. I gotta sign all this vinyl I forgot. So sick. So after you have the what's it called? The flyer made, and you're like, this is the best I could do that just hits all the notes you mentioned in what you just said. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think this is 7. 6, 7. Haha. Anyways. But once you have that flyer that you're like, okay, this actually does everything you just said, I swear. Another role, so I'm kind of skipping around. This is the way it was like organized in my my to-do list every time I ran a show. Then you'll need a door person, and sometimes the venue will have a door person. But honestly, yeah, sometimes the venue will have a door person. But if they don't, then you need to. So this is the weird part. You need to find a friend that doesn't necessarily like the music or the show you're doing, but likes you enough and is willing to just like waste a night hanging out on their phone for you, and you pay them like $100 or like 20 to $100. And it's like super specific, because if you get a door person that likes the music, they're gonna be sad the whole time. They have to work the door while everyone's having a good time. So you don't want that. You know what I mean? Because then they're gonna be like, man, and they're gonna do the job, but it's just gonna be like, you're gonna feel bad. So you want to find your, like, if you're running like a furry show, find your friend that's a straight metalhead, dude, that just like couldn't care less. You know what I mean? But loves playing games on their phone. That's who you want at the door. You know what I mean? So yeah. And they're like, bro, I just need like I'm trying to get like they're just like, and they're okay just hanging out by them. You know what I mean? Like, you want to find that, or like a cousin. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily, like, he's got nothing else going on. You know, your maybe your cousin that's in college that needs a little extra money. Yeah, I mean, you want to find someone like that to run the door for you, or the venue might have a door person, and that either one works. Then, now that you have the flyer, you have all these things, the venue needs to post the flyer on their accounts, because they're gonna want that. You know what I mean? So that's why I said make the flyer now and all that. And you know, by now you have like your final lineup and all that. You need to send all that information to the venue, like all of it, in like one email with the flyers and everything, Google Drive links, give them as many different formats, like different sizes and all that for all the different stuff they'll need, right? So like square versus like Instagram post versus like banner versus like, by banner I mean like, 1080p, you know what I mean? They'll want all the different sizes. You'll need like a ton of different flyers, right? Send all that to the venue, and but literally just break down everything I just told you. So you remember how we said, hey, find your floater, find your merch person, just tell them who's making the content, what's going to happen every hour of the show, send all that over to them, and like a final, like, and we agreed upon this split. Let me know if you got everything and this all looks correct, because you just want to make sure that you and the venue are on the exact same page of what's going to happen. And the venue should also know like the name of every person that's involved with your show, in case anything goes wrong or whatever. Not because of like a legal thing, but it's because, like, again, what if someone's thrown up in the bathroom? You know what I mean? And you're over here doing something for the show. The venue knows, oh, is someone here named, Jacob. Who's Jacob? Okay, Jacob, you're working with whoever. Can you help me out with this? Because I know you're friends with, I read on the email that you're also helping out. Can you help Jacob? You know what I mean? Because you want the venue owner to know what's going on and like what you're planning, so that way they can go in and like help out. But yo, Gavin, good to see you, Dan. How you doing? How's your Tuesday? But yeah. So once the venue is like, cool, everything looks great, let's do it. I also forgot to mention that the date you pick for your show, make sure it's at least like 4 weeks in advance. You need at least a month. At least a month. Honestly, I would choose 8 weeks in advance if you can. going back to like the whole Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing, you want 8 weeks in advance if you can, because you'll need the time for marketing and stuff. Because that's what we're about to talk to you about next is marketing. And marketing is the hardest part. Easily the hardest part. Let me count this real quick. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay, cool. That's easy. But Gavin says, just finished up a stream, gonna bump your music and start editing a vid. Hey, hell yeah, dude. How's your day, my guy? It's going good. Yeah, we're just rambling about running shows, Gavin. I don't know why I flexed, but I didn't go to the gym today, actually. Now I think about it. I went last night, though. But it's going good. Yeah, we're just rambling. Just been hanging out, chilling. It's been a pretty chill day. So yeah, thanks for asking, Gavin. I'm glad to hear you're having a good day, too. But next is marketing, right? Okay. So yeah, we're like we're so deep in this show talk, Gavin, but next is marketing. So what I did for marketing is I did SMS, email, and Facebook ads. Those are my 3 pillars of marketing for a show. SMS means text messages. Actually, I don't think you necessarily need text messages, but I did a whole thing that was like, Gavin, you're down for it. Sick. Yeah, dude, we're about like 70% of the way done of like talking about all the show stuff. So I did like a text message thing for my show where it was like, hey, text this number and you can get updates and like, extra goodies and stuff for the show. And one of my, another marketing shower thoughts that worked out really well is I made it that was like, hey, if you text the number, oh my God. Oh no, I stepped on the thing. That's what I get. Oh, we're fine. I made it so like if you text the number, you would get a free goodie bag, and it would literally just be like Dum Dum lollipops and like stickers. And dude, I got so many like text messages, and not that I'm like, oh, I got your, but like it was more so I could genuinely like every show be like, hey, we're doing our next show on this day at this time. Pull up, and here's a discount code for to get tickets. You know what I mean? So you want a way to follow up with people who come to your show before, and essentially to get like the ability to do that. Goodie bags was like a great way to do it. It was super cheap. You can get like a 1,000 pack of like Dum Dum lollipops for like, what's it called? Like $10. You know what I mean? You just fill through the little goodie bags. Stickers are like 20 cents each. So each goodie bag was like 50 cents tops. And it was a great, and like, it was a great way to get people to keep coming back to the shows. But in general though, I think email works just as good. So at least for the show thing. So even if it's just getting emails, that's really good. So if, it's actually kind of uncommon in the music industry to do this or to get this, but like if you can, every person that gets a ticket to your show, you need to get from the venue, get their email. Because if you have the email, then you can follow up like, hey, our next show is this, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? And even just at the show itself, like I would still just encourage people like, hey, let me just confirm that you're on our email thing. I'll give you a goodie bag if you are, you know what I mean? Yada, yada, yada. Because it is getting a new person to come to your show is so hard. It's so hard to get someone to try your show for the first time, but it's a billion times easier to get someone who already had a good time to come back with friends. You know what I mean? So you need a way to follow up with them. Email is so important. I know it's maybe like email, that's for old people, or email. Trust me, if there's anything you get from this at all, it's please get your emails, dude. Please. Even if you just ignored everything I said up to now, get the emails from people that come to your show, please. And your life would be so much easier. So we're gonna assume that you already have some emails. So email them, tell them about the show, like 4 weeks before, like, hey, the show's gonna be on this day, yada, yada, yada. And then for Facebook ads, so pretty much the thing with that is, we built a sick flyer, right? That just perfectly says, if you're this person, based on whatever we decided, come to the show, right? In general, you're gonna run that as a Facebook ad, like not through boosting it on Instagram. You're gonna go dead ass straight into Facebook Ads Manager and run it that way. And in particular, if you can, make the flyer a little animated, add some sparkles to it or something, some way to show that it's a video with your flyer on it. and just put like, you know, and try different parts of songs on it. So like try different songs that maybe the bands that are playing, or like, you know, if it's a goth night, try some like popular goth song that you know you're gonna play at the show or something. Try different sections of the song. It's like a whole thing, but pretty much you need to run like a video Instagram reel of like what your show is and like make it a video so people know that it's, you know, they can play music from it, and it's just gonna jump straight to the ticket page. This is like simple. Technically you'd want to jump it to like a landing page that then tells them all the show information, including ticket prices, and then jumps into the ticket page and like do a view content event. But that's like expert mode. That's going X Games mode. This is getting too technical, but pretty much just make it like link clicks to a ticket page, right? That's the simplest way to do it. But I'm just throwing that out there in case anyone's actually a Facebook Guys nerd that watches this. Anyways. So yeah, so you run that, and here's the scary part. Here's the scariest part. Keeping it real, for like a $10 ticket, to get someone to buy a ticket, in terms of like, and here's the thing too, like show marketing, I think I explained this once on the Simply Did, I think, but show marketing is like about momentum. Because essentially what you're doing is you're gonna run like a Facebook ad the entire day up to the day of the show, to like the second it starts. You're gonna run a Facebook ad, like 4 weeks to the second it starts. And the idea is really you want to plant seeds with it. You're going to build momentum. So essentially, really you're hoping that like once a day, someone gets the ad, they look at it and they go, oh, this looks neat. And they just DM it to a friend and go, hey, do you want to go to this sometime? And that's what you're really trying to do. Because you're trying to get people to like check it out and then ask their friends about it. And because lots of people are going to see it, interact with it and be like, maybe next year, or I don't know. But you're just trying to get people to like Discord their friends and be like, hey, do you want to go to this? And you want to hopefully also their friends going to go, I've been seeing that too. I was also thinking about going to that. And then they essentially get a crew going and they're all going to show up. So it's all about like planting seeds to do that. But of course, coordinating all your friends with the show, you know, no one wants to be the first guy to buy it and lock themselves in if their friends are going to come. So because of that, it's like a momentum thing where you build up a bunch of momentum. You're going to be like, damn, I'm not selling tickets. My show's going to bomb. And then like the day before, literally you'll get like half of the ticket sales for the entire show the day before. And it's like, where the fuck did this come from? And the day of, it'll be people like clawing every last ticket they can get, because no one wants to be like the first, you know, the first friend to be like, okay, I'm locked in. What about you guys? And their friends are the last thing to like, oh, sorry, bro, but like my aunt's dog peed itself. Yeah, like, oh, damn. You know what I mean? So you're not going to see like any ticket sales, and you're going to be like, yeah, and Zaku says, yup, I've seen it. See, yeah. So you're going to be like, damn, I'm burning all my money. I'm just watching it flamethrower away to these ads. But then the last second, you'd be like, holy shit, we did it. But I'm not going to lie, sometimes it is like, no, it like the tickets are rolling in, but not enough. You know what I mean? So that's where the gamble comes in. That's where you're sports betting. That's where you're going 50 on black. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Happens to us every show. Yeah, Zaku, again, internationally touring DJ with a collective. And yeah, that's just how shows go, dude. So yeah, so pretty much that's the thing. And for budget, here's where it gets scary. Again, let's say you're doing a 100-person show because, you know, you think you can sell about 100 tickets based on your friends and, you know so many people and yada, yada. Well, what I've seen based on what I've learned from marketing people and stuff like that and just my own experience, the cost, essentially you want to think of how much ads we need to run to sell one ticket. So let's say it's a $10 ticket. Your goal is to hopefully the cost you have to spend on budget to be less than the amount of tickets you need. This is going to be kind of confusing. But let's say you'll profit $10 per ticket, right? Because after fees and stuff, you'll profit $10. You want the cost to, after everything's done and said for, to be less than that. What I'm trying to say is pretty much the amount of tickets you can expect to sell is about $5 to $10 per ticket. I hope that makes sense. So like, again, if you're trying to sell 100 tickets, your budget should be at least $500 for the whole 4 weeks to sell, because that's a lot of money. And $5 is like you crushed it on like the cost per ticket sale. Once all the tickets come in and you run the final numbers, you probably be closer to like 7 to 8. And then that's what you eat off of, is what you and all your friends you book eat off of is the delta between those two. And whatever the venue gives you, if you get any bar sales on top of that. So if it's like a 100-person venue, again, let's say you put like 600 towards the total budget. Actually, it could be cheaper. But okay, let's say it's a 100-person venue, you put 500 towards the total budget. you're gonna have $500 left to pay you and all your friends and yourself, right? So again, if you know you get like 2 or 3 friends that are involved, 4 friends that are involved, and you all go home with $100, it was a good ass night, right? You had a fun ass time. It was a good ass night, and that's kind of what you're going for. So yeah. Oh, and Zaku says I played for a couple hundred people, and I played for a couple people. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's Zaku. That's the thing, is that, you know, this is so roller coastery. So just because if one show goes really bad, don't get too bummed, because like it's such a roller coaster. But yeah, but that's a general rule of thumb. Just putting it out there is, if you're doing like just assume it's going to cost $5 in ads per every 1 ticket you sell, and that's optimistic. It could be anywhere up to like $8. It could be as cheap as like $2.50. You know what I mean? On the nights, if it's like summertime, you got a banging lineup, and like, you know, people there's not really that competition. You can run a $500 budget and just completely oversell it. You know what I mean? And just crush it. Or people are like rotating throughout the night and stuff like that. And you're having a good old time, and then you have a little bit of money. And sometimes, you know, you run that same $100 budget, and like maybe the ticket cost per ticket was 10, so then maybe 50 people show up, and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? So like that's the whole thing that gets kind of like tough. So yeah, hope that makes sense. So yeah, so once you have the ad set up, at that point, pretty much you kind of just like, you know, sit around and make sure, you know, answer emails and stuff, and wait till like let the ads run. Make sure your friends don't bail. Keep in touch. If you're doing something like having people like sponsors again, or if you have like friends that are like artists that are like selling their own like prints or like little keychains or something, you know, keep them in the loop. Let them know about what's going on and stuff like that. And really, you don't really do anything else until week of the show. Oh, and this whole time too. And Zaku says it really is a roller coaster. Yeah, dude. Another thing is too is you can try to make like, you know, all the posts you can. Post on whatever your Instagram account, or have your artist friends that are involved post on their account. Sometimes keeping it real, artists are like not the best at like posting. So just give them like pre-made stuff that they can post. So like, I don't know, deadass, just give them like a version of the flyer where like their face is big on it. So like same flyer, Photoshop their face and put it on it, and give them a JPEG to be like, yo, can you post this to your account? And they'll go like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Just make it as easy as possible for them to post it, or else they won't. And then you post it on your account too. So like that way you guys can collab post. So you want to be posting like at least once a week, if not twice a week, leading up to the show, on top of this ad running in the background, so people like can see what the show is about and stuff like that. But Zaku says we had to cancel our 15th anniversary event because we only sold 8 tickets. I know, it'd be like that, dude. Like, I'm sorry to hear that, but like, dude, that's really how it is sometimes. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, if that's not a testament to like, you gotta love doing this for the community and stuff, like, again, Zaku put some respect on my man's name. He's an internationally touring DJ, and sometimes the show just goes where it's like you only sold 8 tickets. You know what I mean? And so yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so you gotta really like want to do this. You gotta really love it, because sometimes there's gonna be nights like that, and there's gonna be some nights where Zaku said you're gonna play to a couple hundred people and be like, damn, this is the greatest night of my life. Holy shit. So yeah. Anyways. So yeah, so you want to be posting all the time. Tag the venue, tag all your friends, make special flyers for each one of your friends that are playing. If there's anything relevant, like again, if it's like goth night, I don't know, make a post that's like, if it's goth night, you know, bats are so cool. I love vampires, and that's why you should come to our show. Just something like that's on topic, but also just like a slight, come to our show, please. Like as often as you can. You can't overpost, like trying to get, you know, to get people to know about the show. Like more is better always. But yeah, but just let that ad run in the background, and that way, like if you're always posting to people who are hyped for the show, are going to be more hyped and have more things to send to their friends to convince them to come and stuff like that. That's really what the thing is. And Rosa says that's the case for a lot of artistic stuff. It requires passion or enjoyment, but it will be harder than it already is. Exactly, Roses. You got to really want it. You got to be really passionate. You got to really want it. Again, we're fighting Ganondorf right now, so it's gonna feel tough. It's gonna suck. You're fighting Ganondorf right now. You know what I mean? So yeah. And like treat it like it's the final boss fight. Like, you know, prepare, get your hyper potions. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah. You're gonna need as many you're gonna need every, what's it called? Zaku says this food name dropped the goth music genre like 3 times in one stream. It's because I don't know, I just know a lot of people who are like in the goth music scene, so it's like the one that comes to mind when I think of like local music. Because I have like a lot of buddies that are into goth shows. So I've like, even though I'm not a goth fan, I've gone to a bunch of goth shows. Keep it real. But yo, always in the room, dude, good to see you. How you doing? And 444, dude, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. How's your Tuesday going? And yo, respect your art. Thank you 444. I appreciate it, dog. Hope your Tuesday's going good, dude. And Zaku says, yeah, oh yeah, exactly, yeah. But so post as much as you can. And again, get all that. And and here's another thing I forgot to mention. I do think, like, if once you can afford it, I would definitely get someone to be in charge of visuals at the show. So like get a VJ or something, and that's gonna require getting like artist logos and stuff like that. So make sure you get all that. If you can afford a VJ, I think a VJ is definitely worth the money. Because it's such a vibe. Because again, the whole point of the show is you're curating a space for people to have a good night. And that's another key point. At everything I said, this, if you're taking notes, take this note down. You're trying to convince people they're going to have a good night in this space you're creating. And I think a VJ does help create an ambiance that makes it a fun night. It makes it more conducive to conversation. It makes it more conducive to having fun. So it's money well spent, in my opinion. And it's just a good time. It looks sick. But always in the room says, I'm chilling. Hey, sick. I'm glad to hear it, dude. But yeah, I'm still ranting about how to run a show. And we got like 25 minutes before I probably stop streaming. But I literally have gotten nothing signed. I've just been ranting for 2 hours. TED Talk. Yeah. This is the last TED Talk, though. I know that we did 2 TED Talks in a row. But yeah. So yeah. So then it's like the week of the show preparations. Then it's just like pretty much like, you know. Oh, thank you, Roses. Actually, I do need to hydrate. I've been talking so much. So the week of the show comes. Then put like a group DM, get everyone that's involved in the show in one place, one chat box, and be like, hey, look, please no one abuse the fact that this is a group chat with everyone. But here's all the details, everyone who's involved, what time we're starting, where to load in at the venue, who to talk to if you need help, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like just everything anyone would need to know. How many friends can they bring that didn't buy a ticket? What's the guest situation like? Yada, yada. So yeah, which on that note too, one thing I think I did kind of mess up on with Crystal is I wish, going back, I was thinking about a lot. The venue again makes most of their money because Oh, Rosa says, I've been enjoying some wings at some point as this talk happened. That's so sick. Hell yeah. I got chicken wings in a minute. I need to go get some. But I'm glad to hear, Rosa. That's sick. Hell yeah. But one thing I think I messed up with Crystal, because a lot of also running a show is just managing people's like egos of like how cool they feel and stuff like that. So one thing with Crystal where I think I messed up is that I was very like, look, man, just buy a ticket, even if it comes like just because like again the door person. My thinking was like, you don't want to make the door person's job any harder to be like, oh well, even though you've never met this guy, metalhead friend, there's gonna be this guy that shows up in this specific outfit that looks like this. He gets in for free, and so did his wife. You know, so it's like you end up having like a list of like, it's like who the fuck do I live in for free? You know what I mean? So I was always just like, look, man. Zaku says, oh, hey, wait, so Sunday or you mean next time you want to visit? I think we said like a while from now, no? Just because this Sunday I gotta I'm launching the album, so I gotta like do a bunch of like album stuff on Sunday in terms of like stream. Like the stream is pretty much gonna be like, thank you for buying the vinyl, thank you for buying this. So I didn't want to like, I wanted to make it so that you had more time to talk than me just being like fine. I don't know if that makes sense. Or are you saying like days of the week you should run a show? But yeah, where I messed up with my show is I like pretty much made it was like, hey, look, we have a guest list. We have no guest list. Either just show, have your friends. Zaku says now the stream. Yeah, okay, yeah. I think I texted you like a date. But yeah, let me know if not, or you can always just text me. But what's it called? So one thing where I messed up is I was like, there's no guest list. If you're an artist, just have your friends show up with you at load-in, because then it's like easier for the door person. So I can just tell the door person, okay, from this point forward, everyone must buy a ticket. And even if someone was like, come on, bro, I would just be like, dead ass. I will if it's really that much of an issue, here is $10 Venmo. Go buy the ticket with the $10 I just gave you. You know what I mean? Which actually I got into like a big kerfuffle with someone because I did that. But that's the point, is that like really at the end of the day, the venue doesn't necessarily care who gets in for free or not. The venue just wants people in the room so they buy drinks and they make money, right? So I think looking back on it, I would have been less like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I probably would have just been like, hey, look, everyone gets paid this much, but you're allowed to bring so many friends, and then actually do the whole guest list thing. And just tell artists, you can bring like 10 friends, but that's why I'm paying you blank, because that's 10 less tickets that I could sell, blah, 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 you know what I mean? Or whatever. However you gotta do the math, or whatever you gotta explain to your artist or whatever. But do have some guest list situation set up, because like people are gonna expect it, and you pretty much have to have one. I've learned the hard way that you can't. Because it's just going to cause too much drama, dude. It's just too much drama. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog, for no reason. But yeah, so your week of show prep should be that group chat where you explain every detail to all your friends. Yeah, Cupid boy, the crying emoji. Yeah. But so just have everything listed out. Who's doing what their role is, who you need to talk to, if you have any, blah blah blah. Yeah, just everything they need to know. And TRS says, I think guest list spots or something that you just need to have a conversation about before you announce the show. And it's part of the conversation because, for example, the artist could sell that. True, TR, yeah. To be honest, guest pass, which gives the artist full ticket value. Yeah. To be honest, TR, this is the one thing I haven't quite figured out yet, but I just know what I did was wrong. I just learned that like it was too much of a headache to just be like, look, no guest list, everyone just buy a ticket or just show up at load-in. People did not, it just didn't work. So just don't do that. Whatever you decide to do for guest list, just don't do that. You will learn. Unless, I don't know, maybe you have friends, more understanding friends or something. But mine unfortunately were not. Trying to see how, okay, this one looks good. But Zaku says also, yeah, the bar definitely makes most of the money. I've been in a situation where we lost residencies because we would bring in a good amount of people, but the one was buying drinks. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so especially if it's like, that's the thing. Going back to the reason why I'm like actually pro guest list is because like it's the bar makes the money off of drinks. So what's it called? No, Zaku, I wasn't making much money off of drinks too. I had to do like yeah. I mean, we could talk about. I mean, you. I think I told you, or maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, Crystal, it was like the same. It's just we had so many people that like we'd always hit the minimum. But we'd have to like, it was pretty much like we had to sell at the venue because like again, like a venue are used to like hip hop nights where they'll like buy $300 bottles of whatever. So they base your like venue prices off of like, oh, you want to throw a show? Well, we expect to make like $4,000 in alcohol sales. But if you're running like niche internet music, you're only gonna get that to that number if you sell at the venue every time. You know what I mean? So that's why what Zaku's explaining is that like, you know, you have to, yeah, you gotta, I don't know. But I was trying to make this general enough for like, because I don't know, if the person watching this wants to make a reggaeton show, you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about drink sales. You will be fine. But yeah, I'm just saying. Well, I guess it is niche internet music. So yeah, it's something to keep in mind. Is that, you know, it goes back to like, I guess a earlier point is that like, try to have the venue's best interest in mind. And their best interest usually is, how do we make our money with alcohol sales? I'm not saying you need to like go up and be like, hey, everyone, you need to drink right now, because that's like not healthy. But you know what I'm trying to say. You'll figure it out. You know, you gotta pull. You gotta pull and stuff like that. I don't know. And yeah, Tiara, exactly. Tiara's making a great point. Zaku and Tiara both making a great point. A lot of bars in New York City have a minimum that you have to hit this minimum amount of sales at the bar, or else you have to pay the difference. So that could also eat up all your ticket profits, is that if your people don't drink enough. So yeah, so that's something to keep in mind. And if it helps though, I think in my experience, again, I did like an anime type of show. I think the average person, I have the numbers actually, I'll tell you. Just so, again, keeping it real. So when you go to the venue negotiation, so turn back to your notes of the venue negotiation page of whatever notes you took. I think the I'm pretty sure the average person spent about I'll give you the actual number. Just because I know if I don't say it now, I'm gonna be like, damn, I should have said the actual number back then. The average person will spend, at least in my experience, about like $15 to $20 per ticket at the bar. If you're doing a 21 plus show, and it is very much like a party environment. So yeah. So of course not everyone's gonna drink, but like some people are gonna be like, yo, I like drinking. And they're gonna buy like 5 beers. Or some friends are gonna be like, I'm gonna buy drinks for all my friends. You know what I mean? So like some people are gonna, and there's gonna be some people that show up and just get Coca-Cola the whole time. Or just get Coke Zero the whole time. You know what I mean? So, but at least in my show, it averaged out to about 18 per person. And again, I ran a show where people don't drink, in terms of like, it was a bunch of nerds who were kind of like more Gen Z and then like drink. But if you're running like a hip hop night, again, if you're watching this, you're running like a hip hop night, this is something you probably don't have to worry about, because, you know, hip hop night does a little better. If you're doing like a metal show, they like to drink, you know what I mean? So yeah. Rose says, wow, yeah, there's so much that goes into like alcohol. So it's kind of crazy. Roses is like, really is like a, yeah. Oh, and Zaku says, nobody reads anymore, so get ready to answer the same question 100 times the minute you drop your flyer. Yeah. That's one thing you'll have to like work on too, is just like, you know, because like I think it comes down to like, people are like so like, when it comes to shows, it's like people have to really be sold on it, because it's like, dude, you're telling me I have to work all day, go home, take a shower, put on deodorant, look nice, then drive 30 minutes to the, like, so they tend to just try to find any excuse they can to not show up. So they're gonna ask you the same things over and over, even if it's already on the flyer, because they're trying not, you know what I mean? Because they want to support, but it's at the same time, it's like, oh, convince me, please. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm not saying like every person's like that, but it's human nature, dude. We're lazy, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, what do you mean I can't just teleport? And I'm not trying to make fun of anyone, but yeah, that's where I think Zaku's sentiment's coming from, is that like, some people don't read, some people are just lazy. They just, it's like, bro, where is it at? You know what I mean? But then they get there, they have like the best time of their life. But yeah, it's kind of funny. But yeah, so we got the group chat with everyone, right? Yeah, and with the ticket venues, when you're negotiating the venue, make sure like whatever they say the bar sale minimum is, because you can get kind of screwed on that. Because if it's like a 100-person venue and they're like, hey, the bar minimum is 4,000, well, do the math. If I just told you that if you're also doing like Future Funk or an anime show, and I just told you about, you know, again, your results might be different, but I told you the average person on a weaker night spends about $15 per ticket at the bar, well, then there's no way you're going to make $4,000, right? Because, you know, 15 times 100. So maybe that's not the venue for you. But yeah. And Tiara makes a point about like, yeah, people are like, I don't want to go out. And that's what makes Tiara so appreciative of everyone that does come out. Because they could just be sitting at home playing Zelda, but they're coming out to hang out. Exactly. It makes me so incredibly grateful whenever someone asks me about a show. It means they care. Exactly. Yeah, because again, in terms of like doing something, making any kind of art or community thing, shows are Ganondorf. They are the final boss. It is the hardest thing to ask someone to do, is to meet you at a certain place at a certain time to do a certain thing. You know what I mean? So you have to, if you're not coming from a place of like gratitude when people come to you, like it's going to be real hard to keep running shows. You have to be community first. You have to want to serve the people that are coming. So yeah, because this is final boss mode, dude. So yeah, so weekly show thing, you know. Also, I would also, if you can too, just confirm with the venue week of, hey, how many tickets did we sell? Anything else that I can do to help you out? Anything that we should know about? The Monday of, and then yeah, the day comes around. I would also say the night before, you know, just constantly blast out, hey, the show is tomorrow, because all your ticket sales are going to come the day before. Like you're going to notice like at least half come the day before, and like the other half might, like not like half, but like at this point you probably sold 20%. Day before will be like about 40%, and then day of will probably be about like the last 40%. If I did the math right in my head just now. Like that's how much of like a hockey stick at the very end it is in terms of ticket sales. So day before, that is go time. You need to be posting 4 times that day. The show was tomorrow on your story, on the post. Like you need to yell at everyone, post the shows tomorrow. Because again, maybe people bought tickets and because like, I want to go. You want them to know the show is tomorrow again, because now they're gonna be like, hey friends, I'm going to the show tomorrow. Do you want to come? So like those like seeds you planted, the people who already bought tickets, they're like, you want to, the show is tomorrow. Let's get lit. You know what I mean? So yeah. And then day of too. So yeah. And also one other pro tip, because pretty much we're almost done with the show pretty much. One other pro tip I forgot to mention, scroll back to your email section notes. When you describe the email too, like whenever you have like a post that's like a video or something where you have time to elaborate on the show, also explain, if you can, explain to them what to do before and after the show. Which I know it's kind of like, huh? But your show is like no one just goes, oh, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then run over to the show real quick. And then like, you know what I mean? Like people tend to like plan their day around your show if they buy tickets. So give them an itinerary of how to make it an awesome day for them and their friends. You know what I mean? So what I would do is that the show we did was in like a little Tokyo in LA. And there's a bunch of like Japanese fun anime stuff to do. So I was like, hey, look, here's this cool store you can visit. Here's this ramen place that's nearby. Like in the email, or like, I never would do videos, but I was at least in the email. I'd be like, here's what you can do 4 hours before the show for you and your friends. So you guys can have like the best night before the show, walk over to the show, have an even better time. And then afterwards, here's the one taco place that's open until like 24 hours and you guys can get food at afterwards if you stay for the whole time. You know what I mean? So like give them an itinerary so they have to like do no thinking to enjoy your show. But you know what I mean? And that helps a lot. Because then they're at that point like, oh wow, I'm convinced it's gonna be a great night. Because I know exactly where to eat because they're a local here and they said this place is good, so I'll try it out. And like at that point it's like, all they gotta do is just execute. Like you gave them the blueprint to have a good night. And that's really what the show is like you're trying to like show them a good time. And that includes before and after the show. Keeping it real. So yeah. Hey, Roses says, this is really nice to have as someone who likes planning stuff instead of just jumping in. Yeah, exactly, Roses. Yeah. Because yeah, that's the thing is that like, you know, sometimes people are just like, I want to go to the show, but like, I don't even know what to wear. Even like when it, like, so another thing I did too for the show, speaking to Rose's point, if you go to Crystal Nostalgia, you might notice one of the posts, I hope I still have it pinned. It was like the strategy guide on how to have a good night. So I said, here's what people like to wear to the show. Here's where it's at. Like it was like a literally Instagram post that was like it was supposed to look like a Prima Games strategy guide. Like remember the old Pokemon, like Zelda strategy guides? It was themed like that. Whereas the Instagram post that you can scroll through and be like, here's what the menu is. Here's what you need to come to the show. Like bring glow sticks if you want to bring, you can bring glow sticks. Here's what you can't bring. Here's the restaurants nearby. Like it was everything you would need to know to like have a good time. So then having a good time at your show includes before, after, and during. You know what I mean? You want to, the whole 24 hours before and after your show, someone should have an idea of like how it all loops together and it's fun. So yeah. Tiara says, it's really thoughtful, dude. Great idea. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, and it ended up helping out where it ended up being a funny thing where at our show that we did, there was a taco place that you could literally walk to that was nearby. Also parking too. Like, I mean, again, going back to the show thing, tell them where to park. Because I know in LA at least, the parking was like horrible, but I was like, park at this one garage because everyone parks there. Usually it's pretty safe, yada, yada. Especially if it's like in a bad neighborhood. Tell them, park here, not there, because this place is safer. Because even the walk to your show is kind of like, it's not your responsibility, but it's your responsibility to catch my drift. You know what I mean? So you want all those things to be considered. So like, let them know, like, here's how you have the best, most fun, safe night. You know what I mean? Because especially for women, like safety is a huge concern. So you want to like really dial in what is the safest way to enjoy this show? Like, where can I walk? Where should I not be walking? Yeah, I mean, X, Y, and Z. So yeah. Okay, now you can scroll back to now that we've added those new notes, scroll back to day of the show. And yeah, day of the show, load in, double check with the bar people, like, hey, we're gonna have a good night, so on and so forth. We expect this many tickets, yada yada. Hopefully your ads did good. Hopefully your friends show up and you just have a good time. And at the day of the show, and the most important thing is at the show, you don't have to do this all the time, but especially when you first get started, everyone that comes to the show, you need to ask them, hey, introduce yourself. because you want them to know, like, I'm the guy who runs the show. You don't have to be like, hey, I'm here to just break up the conversation and be weird. But like, hey, look, like, this is my show. Like, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Make small talk. My name's Aaron. It's like, anything happens, let me know. Be happy to help you out. You know what I mean? X, Y, and Z. If you have any questions, like, I'm your guy. And I know that's kind of like very like corporate-y, but still, like, you know, people are like, oh, okay, well, Aaron's the guy that I can talk to if like my friend gets sick or something. You know what I mean? So they know. You know what I mean? But also to ask them, this is a very important question. How did you find out about the show? And then keep a mental note of that. Because what you'll notice, at least in my experience, 99% of the answers will be, I saw a Facebook ad. It's boom. But you want to do that just because you want to make sure what you're doing to get people to know about the show is working. You know what I mean? So if everyone says, oh, I'm a big fan of your friend band, well then no, oh shit, maybe I gotta pay my friend more because he brings people to the show. You know what I mean? Or like, or maybe they'll say, oh, this guy, John told me, my friend John told me. If a lot of people say John told you, hit up John and be like, yo, John, you got a lot of friends, bro. Is there any way I can let you come for free next time? Like, you know what I mean? Like, really, like, you know, like, keep in mind what's driving the people to come to the show, because you want to like double down on that and maybe let go of the things that don't work. So yeah. Because like, for example, maybe you like, you know, your friend, again, don't want to say anything bad, but like, maybe you had a friend that had like, I don't know, 1 million followers on Instagram and was like, bro, I'm so cool, I'm gonna sell all these tickets. And you find out your friend that has like 200 sold double the tickets. Well then, I mean, no shade against your friend with 1 million followers, but maybe this isn't as an audience, and maybe next time, you know, he shouldn't get paid more than everyone else because he has 1 million followers. You know what I mean? Just because it's what the data you got. You know what I mean? But that's the only thing that's your own thing you got to figure out with your own community. But you know, that's the kind of the mindset you need to have. And then, so yeah, show goes great. Hopefully, you have a great time. You eat tacos afterwards. Everyone has a blast. People are so hyped for the next one. It's great. You're on top of the moon. You know what I mean? That's awesome. You had a great night. You go home at like 5 a.m, still just pumped off the adrenaline of how fun the show was. It's great. And then after the show, you need to be emailing the venue. Hey, when are you gonna pay me? Because hopefully, hopefully most venues will pay you like the week after. Like they'll have you come in person and write you a check or something. Or if you're lucky, they'll just like direct deposit it. But you know, you want to keep in mind with that, like, you know, follow up. Hey, when are you gonna pay me? And hopefully you decided when you're gonna get paid from the venue before the show happened. You know what I mean? But like, you know, be consistent and don't be afraid to be rude. Because like if they say, hey, I'm gonna pay you on this day and haven't paid you yet, you know, you have every right to email them every single day until they pay you. Because at the end of the day, they're running a business, you're running a business. Even if you're doing it for fun, like at the end of the day, this is a business transaction. Like if you have emails and proof that they, you know, there's nothing rude about being like, yo, where's my money? Because like it's more on them. You're not being rude, they're being rude. They're being insanely rude by not paying you when they said they would. So yeah, get paid, and then, you know, if you did good, hopefully the venue asks you for you to come back, and then you plan the next one. And yeah, there you go. That's how you run a show. We did it. So yeah, and again, just also write down the notes. If anything, I always take notes afterwards. So like, what went good, what went maybe not so good. Maybe like the bartender was mean. So maybe next time you ask, hey, do you have any other bartenders that can work our show? Because that bartender kind of said something mean to a friend of mine. Like, you know, to fire them, just, you know, ask, keep it real. Like that bartender, do you have another bartender like maybe help out, or, you know, maybe what's it called? Maybe something went really well. Maybe one friend actually was such a like superstar in terms of like helping, you know, get the bathrooms fixed or something, even though he was just there to help. Well, maybe next time you invite him to actually be a part of the show, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So take notes, try to be better every show when you can. And yeah, just keep in touch with the venue. Once you have a venue relationship and if things went really well, like, dude, you know, keep them in your back pocket, because venues, in some venues, like, they really need your help. They would much rather have like a person that's consistent, reliable, that actually can run the show than to like take chances on new people. So once you're in their circle, dude, if you did a good show, oh dude, they are not gonna let you go. So you know, keep that relationship alive. Try to keep with them, try to throw as many shows as you can. And the last tip is, if you are gonna do multiple shows, try to run them seasonally. Because I try to do mine monthly and it kind of worked, but I think when you do it once a month, people are kind of like, I could always just go next month. Whereas if you do them once a season, then it's kind of like, oh shit, well I can't go for another 3 months if I don't go to this one. So it makes it a lot easier, especially if you're running like a niche genre. Once every 3 months makes it a lot more special, and like people really will take the time out of their day to come because they know that there's an actual like loss happening if they don't. So just throwing it out there. But yeah, but that is my TED Talk. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yay! So yeah. If you want more resources, there's a website called Indiepreneur. Not sponsored, but they have like a music marketing program. They have a bunch of stuff on throwing shows. But honestly, I don't really do that if you like are an artist that are like, who's already established, who's already doing really good for themselves and is trying to like level up, or if you're like an artist in general. but their show stuff is like really, really helpful and informative in terms of like, you know, figuring this stuff out. But I hope whichever friend is watching this that I sent to in the future, I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry for the first hour just being us like hanging out on stream. But TR says they depend on you to be shy in order to stave off of paying you. Yep. If they are like that, yeah. No, TR makes a good point because venue owners sometimes, dude, like they're not good. You know, not always the best people. Sometimes they kind of are. You know, people who work in the nightlife industry, kind of, you know, are vampires. You know, I mean, not, like in like the more metaphorical sense, because you know, not to like, but some people are really genuine and awesome. Like I've met some just absolutely amazing human beings who work in like the nightlife industry because they are really tend to be more like, I'm here to have a good time. They tend to be really cool people, but sometimes they can be vampires. Let me tell you, you know what I mean? Where you're like, oh wow. Oh no. But Rosa says, yay, very informative. Thanks for sharing. I'm glad to hear you liked it, Roses. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that was my last big TED Talk. I only did this because again, I know Prince Motorola was here earlier. I don't know if they're still here, but I mostly did it for them because I've been wanting to tell them all this, but I just haven't had the literal 3 hours to sit down with them and tell them. So yeah. But I literally just looked through everything. That's literally everything I would tell somebody. And to Tiara's point, if you're ever like, what's he trying to say here? Look at the Crystal Nostalgia Instagram account. And that literally was, you'll see I implemented everything I just said in that. So if you ever are confused of like, what's he saying here? Like look through the Instagram account and you'll see, oh, okay. Oh, that's what he was talking about there. Okay. You know what I mean? So yeah. Roses is the hydrate. Thank you, Roses. And yo, Zaku with the snowboarding sparkle. Hell yeah. But yeah, we'll pack this last order. And then I think I'm gonna honestly actually pack orders because I was TED talking so hard. My bad, y'all. But next stream will be the day before Straw Monsters. That's so exciting, dude. But yeah, we'll pack Josh's order. But oh my god, I talked so much. That was funny. Hell yeah. Now you don't want to play the game. But what else did I want to tell y'all? I didn't expect to take that long. I'm sorry. Because I was already so like into it, I was like, I don't want to stop. Oh yeah, and I have so many orders. Oh yeah, in case anyone watches this too and you're like, bro, where's my order at? I don't think anyone is because it hasn't been that long, but I'm still waiting for my CDs to get shipped. But I like thankfully like the CDs I bought. Remember how I mentioned I have like 2 CDs that are racing to get shipped to me right now. One of them said they already printed the disc, and now at this point it's just about putting it in the box and sending it over. So I'll probably get an email. I had a guess like probably late tonight. And it comes from so I'm in Arizona and they come from Nevada. So I'm hoping I'll get them by like Thursday if I'm lucky, maybe Friday, and then I will try my best to wake up early Saturday to drop them off at the post office. Because like one post office near me is open for like 2 hours only on Saturdays. So yeah, but they'll be on the way. So but yeah. But Zaku, you think I should send this to Marcus? You think Marcus might? I think I've already told Marcus everything though that I do. Because yeah, Zaku and I have a buddy that runs shows. Oh no. But yeah, I'm so glad I thought of the Ganondorf analogy because that's like the perfect analogy, in my opinion. I think a lot of people play Breath of the Wild, right? I need to play. I never played Tears of the Kingdom though. I still need to play Tears of the Kingdom. I'm slacking so hard. Oh my god. Yes, this has a CD in it, and it is to Joshua. Okay, cool. But yeah, now that I said all this too, I don't know, one of these days I might do shows again. But it's just so much. And Rosa says, I saw my brother play those. They're cool stuff. I know I wouldn't like it, lol. I feel it, yeah. Yeah, it is very much like there's a lot going on in Zelda for sure. There's a whole lot of like different shenanigans happening at all times. But what was I just about to say? I forgot. Oh man. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know, my brain's turning off. I never yapped so hard in my life, dude. that was pretty sick though. Oh, actually, I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe someone's gonna watch this and be like, bro, that was not sick. Imagine. But yeah. All right, cool. We just need these two little here. Put those in there. Yeah, I like throwing in all the little extra stickers for people want to get all the vinyl. To be like extra thank you. Yeah, what else did I want to talk to y'all about? Let me check something real quick. That was like such a big thing. Oh, what was cool is that I think I told you I go on like morning walks, and what's super sick is that this morning there was like way more ducks than usual on my walk, and dude, I got to take a picture of a duck. It didn't run away. I was like, oh shit. Like all the other ducks like ran, but this one duck was like, nah, I trust you, and let me take a picture of it. And I was like, oh shit. So now I have a bunch of pictures of ducks, like close-up pictures of ducks. I was like, dang. I'm the duck whisperer now, dude. Let's go. I'm like a Beast Boy from Teen Titans. Yo, Teen Titans was so ahead of its time though. And amazing duck. It's really cool to get a close-up a picture of animals. I know, yeah. Because there's like such a like deep level of trust the animal has to have with you. So I'm like, dang, dude. I was like, how did I get this duck to trust me? Yeah. But yeah. And then what's been cool too is one of like the like kind of more low-key things about Arizona that people don't really talk about much. People kind of do. But the sky out here I feel like is bigger. Like when you look up at like the sky with the clouds and stuff, like the sky out here is humongous. It's been really cool because like where the moon is right now, like you can see the moon like very clearly in the sky because it's been, you know, I know everyone else is ice stormed, but like out here in Arizona it's like perfect weather. Just a little dry. But so yeah, so it's kind of like super sick right now because like you can see the moon, like the sky's like the most beautiful blue. So it's been awesome. And Rosa says, I have photos of geese too. Those aren't afraid of getting close and would probably start fights since the flock also had chickens when I was there. Dang. Yeah, geese. Remember the episode of Regular Show of like the ducks versus the geese, and the geese were just like slapping everything? I always think of that whenever I think of geese. It was kind of like spitting. It's kind of true. Yeah. But I remember like once I was in like when I first moved to Seattle for the Amazon internship, they also had like a bunch of geese like hanging out. I remember like skating by them, and they were like looking at me, and they started honking at me, and I was like, uh-oh, I gotta go. And like one of them, like as I started leaving, one of them started like running after me. I was like, uh-oh. But none of them actually ever got to me, thankfully. Yeah, but geese are kind of wild. Though. Geese are trying to run it. They're like, yo, let's run the fade. Subideo. Those ducks are thugs, lol. I love that episode. I know, dude. It's such a good regular show episode. And then, what else happened? I want to tell you all about. Oh, I don't know. I've just been mostly like, yeah. So I think I mentioned it last time, but I scheduled all the posts for Destroy All Monsters. So I pretty much like finished up the last bit of it. I made like one last little like video. It's like me, like a clip from like the, you know how I do the live sets? I made a clip of live sets. And then, dude, I got pretty good at Canva. So there's gonna be like one video that I drop on Monday where it's like a vinyl, the CD, and the cassette tape with all of them like spinning as I'm playing the album. It came out pretty cool. It's not like nothing amazing, but I'm like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. I was like, graphic design is my passion. It's just funny because I had a buddy named Billy who I worked with at Google, and like he also skated. We just became really good friends. Actually, I should tell more Billy stories, dude. I remember it's like funny because my buddy Billy is just this really like, he's just a tough Philly dude who also skated. So he'd be like, yeah, man, like back in my day, like I remember like hitting this guy with a brick, yada yada yada. I'm like, Jesus, dude, like you know, it's like crazy Philly fights he used to be in. And I remember he had a daughter, and I was like, dude, I can't even imagine him being a dad. And then so I went to his daughter's like first birthday party, right? And I was like, oh, okay, I'm probably gonna see a more like soft, gentle, fatherly side to him, right? And then as soon as I get there, I see him and he's like goes up to his daughter, he's like, Lucy! And grabs her and like fucking launches her in the air. And he catches her and she's like, ah! And I was like, oh no. I'm like, oh no, but like, oh my God, he's like the same. He's the same with his daughter. You know what I mean? It was so adorable to see, but it was also like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I was like, hell yeah, dude. But I forgot why I brought that up. Yeah, but Billy's cool as hell, dude. Yeah, him and all his family are all big chillin', living their best lives. But I think I mentioned it last time, but I lost dude, from all the gym stuff, I lost like 15 pounds. It was kind of cool. I've been like looking at old pictures of myself. Yeah. What's it called? Oh, I was looking at old pictures of myself, like Polaroids I've taken. I'm like, yeah, I can really see it in my face, dude. But Zaku says, I can't hear jack shit inside of this sausage house, but I'm still here for the sake of supporting the view. Well, I thank you for being here, Zaku, but what's the sausage house, man? I mean, you probably can't hear me, but I hope you're enjoying the sausage. Whatever sausage is getting made. But this is the last order. And I think we'll stop streaming because it's been like 3 hours. My bad. I TED talked the whole time. But next time it'll be fun. Oh, also Roses, I think you were here. Sounds delicious. Yeah. No, for real. I think I think you were here for the baseball talk too, Roses. But also I found out, just as like I guess to close things out too. I found out I used, again, not sponsored. I used the app Game Time. I mean, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I'm sponsored by me. Actually, no, I'm more sponsored by everyone who supports. Let's keep it real. Everyone who's buying all the vinyl stuff. That's a sponsor. But anyways, but yeah, I use the app Game Time, and the secret to getting the cheap baseball tickets is you have to buy them like last minute. And also another thing I forgot to mention too with the baseball tickets is Dodger tickets are always expensive, but Angels tickets we would get them for like $15, and like Angels Anaheim is like also a very expensive city, so even that was still on the cheaper end if you buy them day of from a website like Game Time, StubHub, or SeatGeek or whatever. So yeah, because if you were to try and buy them right now, they'd be more expensive. But like, yeah, you have to get them day of because people are just trying to like sell it, whatever tickets that are left. So yeah. Oh, and Zaku says Sausage House is a vegan place. Oh, sick! Hell yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, we need more. We have like a handful of vegan places out here in Phoenix. The funniest one though is there's one called Loving Hut, and what's it called? I guess it's the last story I'll tell, but it's one out here called Loving Hut, and I don't know if you ever saw the meme that's like, I don't want vegan food unless it's like run by a cult leader, because that's when it tastes the best. So what's funny is one of the best vegan places out here in Phoenix actually, like, apparently is actually a cult. And that like to get employed there you have to like, you're low-key slowly integrated into the cult and stuff. Like if you try to quit, like people will come to your house and all that. It's pretty crazy. There's like stories on it on like TikTok. Who knows how true they are, but yeah. But Zaku says, last celebrity homie I ate here was with Fiverr. Shout out to Fiverr. Yeah, shout out Fiverr, dude. That's the dude. They're out here grinding too. I need to hit them up. I want to stream a Fiverr sometime. We need to like figure out a Fiverr co-stream at some point. Cause I know Fiverr be streaming too. Yeah, so they do the emotes. And Rose agrees that would be cool. Hell yeah. Rose says, yeah, Dodgers are expensive, but I'll keep that in mind since my fam has been thinking of going. Okay, sick, yeah. Yeah, Angels tend to be on the cheaper end. I remember even once going back to baseball tickets, even if like not through like one of the, like this little hack I'm explaining. I remember one year the Angels did a deal that was like, I think for I think it might have been like, okay, I want to say it was 40, but it might have been 80. But even then, the deal was for 4 people, you get 4 tickets, 4 drinks, and 4 hot dogs for $80. So it was like $20 per person to like essentially have a meal at and go to the baseball game. So I was like, so baseball's kind of economical, dude. It's just a fun time. Just even if you don't like baseball, just talk shit the whole time. Bring a 3DS, dude. Oh, funnily enough, you know what's hilarious? I was just talking about how the CDs are still getting packed. They just said they got shipped. So if you are anyone who's like, where's my CD at? This is all I have left. But I have 550 on the way that just got shipped. So, and they shipped from Nevada, so it should be here probably Thursday actually. So let's go. So the deal says, oh, Rose says, wow, what a good deal. Hell yeah. Yeah, it really was. But so I don't know, I have a whole, man, let me write these stories down. Cause I gotta stop streaming. I gotta eat some food. I'm hungry. But okay, I'll write it down. So for next time, to be continued, tell a story of Tyler and Bree and free baseball. I really wrote and games and hockey games. And so I'll tell that story. And yeah. And then Fiverr would be such a sick ass talk show host. I know, yeah. Fiverr really would, dude. It would be a blast. But yeah, okay, cool. Well, if y'all don't mind, I think oh my bro. I'm so mad. There's like I'm using like this one, okay. This is such a random thing, but I'm using this one to buy like international vinyl because I'm trying to reorder more Radical Reptar vinyl. To buy national vinyl, you have to use a specific like currency exchange app thing. And they're like, hey, we need to verify your business address. And I like keep sending them different proofs and they're like, we couldn't verify it. And I'm like, bruh, like I sent you like 5 different proofs. What do you mean? So I think their like app is broken, but like they just don't know what they're talking about. I don't know. I just got the email right now. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, y'all, I gotta go. I gotta head out. I appreciate y'all being here. We'll stream on Thursday, right? What's today? Tuesday? Streaming on Thursday, dude. Oh, Skyhair, catch you around. See ya. But yeah, see ya. See y'all Thursday. Same time at 5 p.m. Well, no, yeah, 5 p.m. Pacific. Ridiculous. Yeah, I know. I even emailed support and they were just like, oh, can you send it again? And I'm like, oh, bro. So yeah, take care, Roses. Take care, everybody. Catch you around Simply Deo. I know I'm on a second monitor. I'll catch you around Zaku. We gotta catch up again sometime soon. And yeah, Simply Deo. I'll see you in the next one. Can't wait for the drop. Oh, I know. Yeah, you'll get the email tomorrow. So yeah, Thursday we'll have some orders already in, so I can pack it for you live. So yeah. Peace, y'all. Take it easy. Later, Zaku. Stream ending.